Yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, man. So, the biggest topic out right now is Kanye, Kim Kardashian divorce, and I want to use this topic because me and you both, you more recently,
Mm-hmm.
have gone through that,
Yep.
and I think a lot of people are speaking on something they have no idea what they're speaking on.
Exactly.
And I think it behooves us to break it down and not to take it personal because number one, before anything, this man is a father.
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, he's a married man. Most
Yep.
black men are not married men.
Yep.
Number three, he's not the typical black man, so he actually tried to hang on to his shit.
Yep.
Most men don't really try to hang on to their families. A lot of men, they don't even stick around to have a family. They create it, they'll stick around to have it.
Yep.
And I know for certain, I remember I didn't necessarily go and try to retrieve the relationship, but when my ex-wife presented that she wanted to try again,
Mm-hmm.
I remember allowing it because I said, you know what? If my daughter ever asked me, did you try?
Yeah.
I could say, yeah, we tried again and it just didn't work.
Yep.
I wanted to be able to say that.
Yep.
So more bigger than what I did, Kanye West tried globally. Everybody know he tried. Everybody know
Mm-hmm.
he tried to get his family. It didn't work. It was over with. Me personally, I think this is the best thing to happen to him because I think there's something nefarious with that family. All the men they deal with, they deplete. So I think this is the best thing to happen to Kanye West. He just don't know yet.
Yeah.
And another thing, he knows. I believe that he's trying his best to protect his children, specifically his eldest daughter.
Yeah.
It's easy to poke fun when you don't have kids and you don't know what it means to be a father.
Yep.
When you don't have kids, you can say, "Oh, he's overreacting." You're really out of pocket. You don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But as a father, when you hear Kanye West say, I don't really like the fact that my daughter's on social media all made up and with no supervision. As a dad, you know he's not tripping when he says that.
Yeah.
When he goes on this rant and when he says, I am Warhol, all that, he's doing that for special effects and to promote stuff. He's tripping. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
hurting nobody, but he's tripping when he's like, I am Warhol. When he start doing all that shit, there's some extravagance to that. When he says this about his kid, that's not Ye talking. That's not Yeezus talking. That's Kanye West. I don't want
Yeah.
my daughter on social media in makeup,
Mm-hmm.
unattended. I don't want to do it in period, but you could at least be on there with her. And you lied to say you would, but she's been caught several times on there. She's been caught several times on there. Salute Joseph on there unattended,
Yep.
and people were asking her going questions. Like, what's her mother's credit card number? Shit like that,
Yep.
and it was mind blowing to me how people. It's one thing to have a personal feeling towards this man. I don't get it because you never met him. It's another thing to let your personal feeling on somebody cloud your judgment of the bigger picture.
Yep.
You don't like he wore a red hat that had "Make America Great." I get it. On the surface level, I get it. What I know, I don't get it. But on the surface level, if I'm just a regular person, I get it. You
Yep.
cannot take, huh?
No, I say yep. I'm agreeing.
Right. You cannot take that feeling and say, because he did this, now everything he ever does for the rest of his life is horrible, and I'm going to talk shit about him for the rest of his life. That's just
Yep.
not how life works. Because that's one small portion of his life. You cannot say, oh, well, because he did this, he deserves his kids to be on social media without his. He deserves to get heartbroken. Like, that is very callous. It's callous way of treating somebody. And I
Yep.
understand they treat us that way. I don't understand when we do it to each other. You know what I mean? That'll be no different from people saying, "Man, one day he knows he." he embarrassed me, or Tomross TV, he embarrassed me. So they deserve to go through divorces. They deserve to have heartbreak
Yeah,
because one little small thing. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? Personalize that shit.
I'm honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people are wishing that on us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised because people are diametrically opposed to us, and they hate us for whatever reason. So I wouldn't be surprised if what you just said actually people were wishing that. But who gives a fuck?
Mm.
Life is life, man.
I, I feel like there's a lack of humanity when we deal with the black male
Mhm.
image, and
Yep.
specifically when we're dealing with Jay-Z, Kanye, and who else there's a big lack of humanity with, man.
Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
There's a
Jackson.
lack
They doing it. They doing it with Earl Spence.
with Earl Smith. There's a lack of humanity when we deal with the black male image. So just imagine what's happened to a black little boy who has nobody to speak for him. And this
Yeah.
happened to Kanye West. What's happened to 8-year-old Johnny, 7-year-old Tyrone? What's happened to him? He has no voice. So he goes to school and the teachers, because teachers do lie on little black kids. I'm one that been lied on. What happens? Because your mother 9 times 10 take the side of the teacher.
Yeah.
The black male image is faction in a way. So the teacher says, I'll use a personal example. I had a little white friend. We was close. We was thick as thieves. And in Chicago, they don't let you in. They let you in the building to eat breakfast. They kick you out and they lock all the doors until they let everybody in for school, like around 8:30.
Yep.
It don't matter if you got to piss, shit, or what. You were pissing yourself. We went around the side of the school and we pissed. The teacher, with her miserable ass, said we was masturbating in front of her. She was she was doing the flowers. You know, you pouring water in the flower in the plants by the window, and she seen pee coming out of us. She seen two a black and a white kid together, and she made a big fuss about it and said we were masturbating, man. And I got
Yep.
the shit beat out of me that day because my mother couldn't fathom why would a teacher lie. The
Yep.
black the black image was so twisted that my mother couldn't fathom if a white woman said that I had did something that I had did it. It didn't matter. But if we thought more of black men than young black boys, she would have questioned that. Like, hold on, my son don't even masturbate. He don't even know what that is.
Hmm.
I was like in second grade. I was 8 years old. I wasn't masturbating. I didn't know. I thought that what masturbating was later on that week when I started asking kids older than me. I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Yep.
So that happened to me. This if everything a black man says on TV could be twisted. What's happened to the little black boys?
That's a great point
You know what I'm saying?
because it all starts with our black men, and then it trickles down to our kids. You know, our children, they're our legacy, man. Whether they come out of us biologically or whether they belong to someone else, children are legacies. They're the future. And
Mm-hmm.
monkey see, monkey do. If they see something intrinsically that's happening in this current epidemic, in this current society, it can have a daunting realization or a daunting mindset on how it trickles down to these kids' thought process going from generation to generation. That's what people don't understand. These are real hot pocket topics that people don't want to touch. And the reason why people don't want to touch is because people want to live in a bubble, man. They want to live in a fantasy world. Black men are marginalized, and unapologetic black men are marginalized on a stupid level because of the
Right.
fact that they dare to think differently, because of the fact that they dare to have a mindset and an ideology where they're pushing themselves beyond the normal plane of thought. Kanye West has been an individual that did not accept no. Now, it's called genius, but I say genius. Um, but if you guys watch the docu series, you guys will see a savant. That's what he is, a savant. You will see a virtuoso. You will see a master at his craft and what he does. People that tend to be a master at what they do, at their craft, they are they don't think on the natural or normal plane as most individuals because of the fact that they're moving exponentially faster mentally in the way that they comport themselves. They're not like your average person that sees shit as 2 plus 2 equals 4. If you ask Kanye West what's 2 plus 2, he'll probably tell you the shit is 8. Now people would laugh and be like, but the math is wrong on that. Well, with what he's seen and what he's experienced, that 2 plus 2 does equal 8 to him because he's seen the 2 plus 2 in 8 different scenarios, where
Right.
you've seen the 2 plus 2 in 4 different scenarios.
Right.
Different strokes for different folks. Everybody's different in the way that they see things. But what I realize is, channeling back to his situation with Kim Kardashian, look at the advantages and look at the disadvantages. Kanye West is a male. As men get older, men become more refined. If they take care of themselves, men actually age backwards as they get older. Women, as they get older, they get more decrepit. They just get fucking older. They have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with the fact that there's no more childbearing. They have to deal with the fact that they're eventually going to have menopause. And if you've been paying attention to our processed foods and you've been paying attention to society and civilization, these things are happening at a more rapid pace. It used to be women used to have menopause in their 50s. Then it's graduated to their 40s. Now you hear early cases of women having this shit in their 30s, late 30s. This is the type of shit that that we're dealing with. So there is a time expiration. This is why you see this new phenomenon with women. They, when they're in a relationship, a marriage, whatever it could be, you can give the woman the whole house, you can give her the whole valley, you can give her the whole book, you can give her everything. They feel like, hey, you know what, time is not there, expiration is not there, I only have so much time, I need to go out there and experiment. I need to
Mm-hmm.
go out there and see if, I still can be who I am while I still have time. Whereas with a man, the mentality is not there, because as long as you take care of yourself, 50 can be your new 30, 40 can be your new 20, 60 can be your new 40, 70 can be your new 50. As long as you take care of yourself, that's exactly what is going to happen. I'm 40 years old, and I tell everyone I feel and I fuck like I'm 20. That's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I fuck. And I'm 40. I can outdo guys that are 18, 19 years old on the basketball court. I can outdo guys that are 18, 19 years old in the gym. I know it because when I go to the gym, my warm up is their actual workout, and I laugh at them. I even have a shirt, and everybody laughs when I put the shirt on because I'm going in there and I'm going to do my own version of Rock Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Johnson. My shirt says, my warm up is your fucking workout. Everybody looks at the shirt, they start laughing, and then they see I go and put in the work, and the work that I put in, my warm up is actually these motherfuckers' workouts. And
Mm-hmm.
these motherfuckers, they're mind boggling because I don't train the way the normal person trains. Most people, they go to the gym. Ross knows, I've said it to Ross. Most people, they go to work out in the gym, they'll train one muscle group. I don't believe in training one muscle group. I like to train multiple muscle groups at the same time because I like to put my body at the most stress that I possibly can put it at the same time. So when I do upper body, I do every upper body.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds weird as fuck to a lot of people. I'm doing bicep movement, I'm doing tricep movement, I'm doing chest movement, and I'm doing this with heavy weight. So this makes a lot of people at the gym, they drop their mouth. They're like, I can only do bicep workouts like that. I can only do chest workouts like that. No, I'm doing all of them bitches like that because
Mm-hmm.
today is my upper body day. When I do lower body, I'm doing deadlifts, I'm doing squats, I'm doing leg press, I'm doing it all. Leg extensions, leg curls. Motherfuckers pick one thing they know. I came here to do legs. I'm doing legs. I want my legs when I walk out that bitch. I want to be able, when I leave the gym, I want to feel like I can't walk. That's
Right.
just me. That's my high tolerance of pain. That's my stress. Why am I saying this? Well, how does this contextualize to what we're talking about? Okay. Kanye West is moving in his mind the way that I move at the fucking gym.
Right.
It's exponential. All of these other people are moving at that normal pace. You know, here's my workout plan. I'm just doing biceps today. I'm just doing triceps today. I'm just doing this today. I'm just doing that today. No, some people are wired to do so many things at one fucking time. And the reason why most people cannot get why that person's ideology or mindset is that way is because that person is not moving at that ideology or mindset. That is what the problem is. So you can't get somebody. So if you're a fucking lowlife talking shit about Kanye West, you're not authorized to talk shit about Kanye West. That's why Kanye West told Kid Cudi, we talking Billy language over here. Now I use it for every fucking thing because Billy is a slang. Before Kanye mixed it together beautifully, really he's just talking about billionaire language. But Billy's a slang in of itself that's derogatory, and language is a slang in of itself that's derogatory. So I use it for everything. I did a Gucci Man shorts the other day. Gucci Man was talking about that sauce. If you're from down south, you know exactly what the motherfucker talking about. Or if you understand lingo, Chicago niggas understand it. But he basically was talking about swag, but he
Yeah.
that sauce. He's like, you know, before I had money, I had that sauce.
Right.
So when you got that sauce, you can get lost in the sauce. But even when you get lost in the sauce, you still a boss. If you don't understand what the fuck he talking about, then you don't understand it.
Right.
Motherfuckers that understand what he's talking about, they understand what the fuck he's talking about, right? So I put Billy language next to it because to a lot of people, they're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Is he high? But he's really dropping gems and jewels. Why am I saying that? The way that a lot of people look at Kanye West is the same way that a lot of people look at people like that they don't understand what this person is talking about. But this person is actually making a lot of fucking sense. You can see that Kanye's moves are evident and they're moving in the right track because every move that he makes is a chess move.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps making more money. He's been able to cultivate a culture to where he has a shoe company that rivals the Jordan brand. I mean, this is ridiculous. This
Right.
is unfucking heard of.
And it didn't take 20 years to do.
It did not take 20 years to do that.
It didn't take 20 years to do. You know what I'm saying? So
It didn't take 20 years to do that. And this is when I knew Kanye West was a genius. And that's why I said that was a classic album for me, was when he did, and I'm glad they talked about it in the third one, Jesus is King.
You're probably the only person I know that say Jesus is King is a classic.
It's a classic. But if you go look at Genius, if you look at that's why I'm like, I said I felt good. I felt good in Act 3 because Act 3 made me feel good that was actually said. Because in Act 3, they talked about how Jesus is King became a fucking classic. And I was like, yes. He said anything Kanye West touch it's a number one album. I was like, I hope I didn't feel like a stranger being the only motherfucker saying this Jesus is King album.
Yeah, I feel like it was a dope album. I feel like it was one of the better albums that year, but I didn't feel like it was a classic because baby, I was looking at it as a hip hop album and not as a gospel album.
There you go. If you start looking at it from a gospel standpoint and you look at the way gospel albums move, that was a classic.
Right.
Because most gospel albums, they don't transcend globally like that.
No, they don't.
They usually just transcend nationally.
Right.
He was able to take a gospel album and transcend it globally and then take the same gospel artists like the Kirk Franklins and all these people. he made them even more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said this album was a classic, because an album like that, for someone who usually does music that would be considered secular, that album should have flopped. If there was any album that was gonna flop, it should have been that album
That's
that
gonna
flopped.
flop.
But guess what? The album did not fucking flop.
Nah, it didn't. It actually
And
did
that
better.
right there is a classic.
Actually did better than most rap albums that year.
Exactly. Exactly. It did better than most rap albums. And this is why I'm saying, why am I bringing up the Jesus King? Why did I bring up the gym element? Why did I bring up all of that? This is what people don't understand. A lot of people, thank you, James, that he said Jesus is King was a great album. The amount of Christians that bought that album has been dramatically under documented. Thank you. And knowing Ross probably doing the research right now, because I know Ross. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna research this shit. I'm telling you, man, this album, Ross, was a classic.
I actually don't got to research. I know it was number one in several, not several, in 20, 30 some countries. Most American gospel albums number one just in America.
Only in America.
Not all of them. It'll just be one. That's number one just in America.
Let me tell you something. When Jesus is King came out, I don't know a westernized American church that was not playing a song from that album in their Sunday service. I can't name one. Even the biggest mega churches had that shit on rotation. It was ridiculous. How huge that album was. And that's why I said that was a classic for me, because for someone to go into a realm that they normally don't go into and take that realm and take it over people that are always in that realm and dominated over them, man, that's genius right there. That is, because the people that are constantly in that realm, you would think they would he outdid them. And I was like, okay, this album stands alone in of itself. And this is what I'm talking about when I say people that are lowlifes that always have some critique about Kanye West. They don't have the right to critique somebody like that, because you don't understand what the person is going through, because you're not in their fucking shoes.
I differ from your opinion in the slightest, and here's how I differ from your opinion. I differ that opinion is because I feel we're all susceptible to fair criticism. Fair criticism. And you're right, because most time people are criticizing. You're right in this regard. Most time people are criticizing Kanye West or something. They have no idea what they're talking about.
That's the part that I'm talking about.
Right. His album could have been this much better. How the fuck you know you never created an album? You
exactly.
Don't know. You just talk.
You don't even know the creative juices in that.
Right. The fair criticism of Kanye West would be he needs to be more tactful. That'd be a fair criticism. A bad criticism is he's being controlling of his daughter. And it's coming from people who don't even have children.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Criticize what you have. You're an expert on.
Yep.
Or niggas who never been married, who never even been in love, talking about Kanye West is spaz and that girl. I feel he don't understand this is the best thing that happened to him. But if you are separated from someone you created 4 lives with, if you could just walk away easily and not feel no type of way, not having, you never loved that person, man. And then he's not a reserved person with his emotions. He lives his life out loud. Yeah. So he's supposed to not express himself because you wouldn't do it. Yeah. This is why I feel like the criticism is not fair. We always bring ourselves into how we view other people. We have to take ourselves away and view the people for exactly who they are. Not what you would do, not what you would say, not what you believe. None of that means nothing when you observe somebody else. You could disagree with their actions all you want. There's a difference between saying I disagree and saying I'm tired of this person. I can't wait till they kill him. That is an implanted thought by the system. For you to say you can't wait for someone to kill someone who shares the same skin tone as you because they do things that you don't like.
Yep.
That's a very callous way of looking at life. Like you can just erase them, like you erase an app off your phone because you don't
Yep.
like this app no more. So this app needs to go. This person needs to go. He irritates me.
Exactly.
But you never broke down the fact that half the shit he said you don't even understand. You irritated by something you don't even you ain't even took the chance to understand yet. Do you know how so many people talk about the MAGA hat? And I asked them a simple thing. I said, who coined the MAGA phrase? They're like, yeah, Donald Trump. I said, Donald Trump did not coin the MAGA phrase.
Mm-mm.
Ronald Reagan coined
Yep.
the MAGA phrase.
Donald Trump took a lot of shit from Ronald Reagan. He basically took Ronald Reagan's administration and ran off of that.
He did the same thing, but Ronald Reagan was an actor. Was more charismatic.
But you know why he ran off of Ronald Reagan's administration?
Because it
Because
works.
Ronald Reagan was the perfect person that he could use to build his administration on because
Yeah.
they both were celebrities that were running for presidency.
Right. The difference is we as black people got to stop thinking we're supposed to like everybody we get behind, and they're supposed to like us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about people like you. Denzel Washington said it the best in the movie Fences. Don't worry if people like you. Worry if they doing right by you.
Yep.
That was old men in the 30s, 40s talk of stop caring about validation and make people respect you.
Yep.
I say that to say this. Ronald Reagan was saying the MAGA shit. He was saying all the shit Donald Trump was saying, but he was an actor, a paid actor.
Mm-hmm.
He was very charismatic in the way he said it. He did way worse things than Donald Trump could ever think to do, and black people loved him for it. Bill Clinton did way worse things than Donald Trump could even think to do, and black people love him for it. We are so emotional as a people, and it's destroying us.
It is. And I'm glad you saying that because the thing with us and James Daggs, I'm glad you're in on this live because this is the type of lives we're gonna have. Grown men shit. The thing that people got to understand is we as our own people, as black people, we with ourselves, we tend to do this thing where we try to police each other up.
Highlight that last comment about James Daggs real quick. Because that needs to be highlighted for a minute, if you don't mind. But you're right. You're right. We try to police each other up.
Yeah. Donald Trump was the most productive president of the modern era. Facts. I'm glad that you actually said that. That makes all of the sense in the world. We're going to touch on that. But we try to police each other up big time. If you notice, if a white person makes a mistake in front of another white person, they don't police each other up. They'll just joke about it and say, "Oh, that's just my cousin. That's just my nephew. They crazy." Yeah. In the Spanish culture, they'll do the same shit. Oh, that's just my crazy uncle right there. They'll joke it off.
Right.
But with us, oh, why did you do that? And then we have this thing where we try to embarrass each other. Now I don't know this motherfucker here. This motherfucker right here, he must have crawled out of a fucking hole or something like that. Right. What the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? And then we do this in front of strangers that don't look like us.
Right.
And those same strangers in the back of their minds are sitting there scratching their heads saying, what the fuck is wrong with these people? That's why they all fucked up. They're sitting here talking shit about one another and they're looking to try to get our quote unquote, co-signing. But in actuality, we're looking at it like, damn, you really are going to talk bad against your own? That's how they're looking at it. They're not looking at it as a positive. They're looking at it more so as a negative. So when James Daggs says Donald Trump was the most productive president of the modern era, he's absolutely right. Because I watched Batman last night.
Right.
And in Batman, there was a lot of undertone messages that you can draw between Joe Biden and you can draw between Kamala Harris. But you know what the way that I also took it as? I also took it as undertones that they took, attacks that they took on Donald Trump. Because that white mayoral candidate that they assassinated, he could be looked at one or two ways. He could be looked at as Joe Biden that is eventually going to pass away and die. I mean, it's inevitable. The guy's of old croaky age, or it was looked at as Donald Trump's time that they basically screwed him out of a second term. That's the other way that I looked at it too.
Okay.
And the reason why I looked at it that way is because when someone is a person that is a likable figure and someone is a person that people respect, nobody's perfect. People got their little, everybody got their little skeletons in the closet or whatever. Instead of looking at things as, oh, people should be 100%, perfect. There's no fucking such thing. The reason why I looked at that guy as a Donald Trump is because Donald Trump is like that. He's a womanizer. So when I saw the mayoral candidate doing what he did in his natural element of womanizing, okay, Donald Trump groped a fucking USA pageant woman, groped her, fucking
But
groped her, man. Like he didn't give a flying fuck, and he had the locker room conversation, man. That shit became locker room talk. Hillary Clinton tried to use that against him. That shit did not fucking work. And when I say the shit didn't work, the shit did not fucking work. It actually worked in his fucking favor. But you have to look at what he did for black people. If you look at what's that woman's name on um the show that Donald Trump had on TV?
I
Gosh, I
don't.
can't think of that black woman's name. She got a loud fucking mouth. She was with that black actor, the big black swole actor that passed away.
I don't know. I,
Okay.
I know. I think the name of his show was The Apprentice.
The Apprentice. There you go.
But I don't know. I don't know anyone but Donald Trump.
Okay. So on the apprentice, on the apprentice, there was the black woman on that show. This was a reality TV. Okay, that's her name. Omarosa. Does that ringing a bell to you now?
Yeah.
Omarosa. Omarosa was a reality TV person. She was not someone that people was paying attention to. She was just a person who was an educated black sister that if she didn't go the Donald Trump route, she would be looked at as a pariah and she would be looked at as someone. Thank you, James Dag, for mentioning it. She would be looked at as someone who people would just kind of like, oh, they go that loudmouth black woman. What Donald Trump does. Donald Trump allows her to come on the Apprentice show, showcase her skill set, allow her to intermingle with the family members. He even allowed her during his White House stint to come in and have a position in the fucking White House. So not only is she making money off the show, she's making money again because of the connections that she's having with the Trump family through real estate, because their name is money. This is what people don't understand. When they put their name on anything, this is what branding is all about. When they put their name on any fucking thing, even if it doesn't belong to them, they're getting a check for it. So they're lending their name to her. She's making money off of that. And then on top of that, she gets a role in the White House to where now she's making money off of that as well too. So she's making long in money. Omarosa has a legion of black people under her that were like, you know what? Can you hook us up with the connections with Donald Trump? Can you talk to Donald Trump or whatever? Donald Trump is not no free. Donald Trump don't believe in freeloaders. But this is what Donald Trump believes in. If you bring something of value, yes, he will uplift you and put you in a position of power. All of these people that Omarosa was pitching to Donald Trump were people that brought value. Plus, Donald Trump wanted to show that, hey, if there's a perfect agenda for me to show that I'm on the side of black people, I'm gonna use this as my baby, so to speak. It's gonna be like my ignition to really push it. So everybody she brought up, whether if it was somebody that was a master in engineer, a master in business, a master in tech, a master in IT, Donald Trump put all of these people in high positions. What ended up happening? These people were able now to become gainfully employed.
Mm-hmm.
People that didn't have jobs before, they have jobs now. Are we seeing the same trend with the Joe Biden administration where someone comes in, looks like me and you, and a president says, okay, if you're saying that you have all of these valuable people in all of these different areas, bring them to the table, and I'm going to put them in positions to where they can showcase their abilities. Did Joe
Nah,
Biden do that? No.
nah, he is only done a lot of times, not all the time, with the Democratic community. But majority of the time, it's only done on a tokenism basis. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll give you a token. Like Kamala Harris is a token, right? They'll give you a token, so you could be like, "Oh man," but the meat of the issue hasn't changed. Reason why I say Kamala Harris is a token because Kamala Harris is just as guilty for locking up black men as Joe Biden.
Exactly.
So she's not there for change. You know what I mean? If Joe Biden, if black people were serious about change, they would have said, Joe Biden, we can't vote for you until you redo or until you promise to redo what you did with the 1994 crime bill
Mm-hmm.
that you wrote for Bill Clinton. If
Yep.
that's not part of your agenda, we can't vote for you. We did not use our vote correctly. We said we're going to vote for you because we don't like a hat that
Mm-hmm.
this president wears. That's so embarrassing to think that I'm a part of a community who cares about voting so much, but they vote so nonchalantly of things just because they don't like another thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I'm glad that Joseph Selbu said that because he said, my parents be doing that to my sisters, going back to the embarrassing thing that we do as black people where we have to embarrass people in public. And it's bad that he said that because that's your blood that you doing that shit too. But we're conditioned in a lot of ways to embarrass each other because it's looked at as we're not being proper. That's a slavery thing. That's how
yeah,
they treated us when we were slaves. That you are dogs, you are less than. So because you are dogs and you are less than, you need to treat each other like dogs and less than, and you need to treat each other disrespectfully in front of us. We want you fighting. That's what
yeah,
that all that is. It's like another form of you guys fighting in front of us and entertaining us with your theatrics.
right. Yep. And when you're not doing that, or if you're in a leadership position like myself, and you're not allowing, because as a leader, I never allow black people to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would stop them and be like, if you have a problem with them, then you should go to them and I'll be a mediator. It's not going to be handled in public.
Exactly.
You're not going to disrespect people who look like you in public.
Yep.
And I used to get sat down and they didn't like that because they wanted the friction and they wanted the turmoil between black people because they feel like they couldn't deal with us as adults. They
Mm-hmm.
had to deal with us with manipulation. In the United States, in the Navy, when they deal with you, if you're unapologetic, it's never directly. It's always in some type of power move, some type of power control.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
It's
And
either
I'm
you
glad you
got
said that
yeah,
because that's how it was in the army. In the army, there was this taboo, and I'm sure the numbers have graduated exponentially. The ratio during the time that I was serving was 70% black, 30% other. You had a force that 70% that dominated the military service was people that looked like me and you, but they were in the lesser level positions, and the higher level positions was mostly 30% and other. And the ones that were in the 70 percentile that were in the higher positions, they were puppets.
right.
They basically told the line. They didn't challenge. And the ones that actually did challenge were on your side of the aisle. They were on the NCO side. You would find them to be a sergeant major. And you know what they would always say? Oh, this sergeant major, he's a crazy motherfucker. They always got to say, because you are unapologetic, something is crazy about you. They always want to put you in some kind of cynical category.
Yep. And that's that's to dehumanize you. That's the reason why I tell people, not only just with Kanye West, I tell people at work dealing with regular people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying people are crazy. Are you a clinical licensed professional? Like no. I mean, did you know clinical licensed professionals don't call people crazy?
Exactly.
They use technical terms. This
Yep.
guy's suffering from bipolar.
Yep.
He has PTSD. This
Yep.
guy, this guy is deemed clinically insane. It's not said.
Exactly.
It's not said with a derogatory connotation.
Yep.
It's not said casually.
Yep.
You are dismissing a whole person's being by saying they're crazy just because you don't understand what they are saying.
Exactly.
They use all these. I'm a writer, so when the media says these things, they are communicating to the other power players, and they're communicating subconsciously to you.
Yep.
They have a title that says Kanye West is out of control. He's crazy. They're communicating Kanye West. You need to get under our control.
Mhm.
He's out of control. He's out of whose control?
Yep.
Should any man be under somebody else's control?
Yep.
So whose control is he out of? And because
Yep.
he's out of their control, he's crazy.
Yep.
He's communicating to the uninitiated who don't
Mm-hmm.
understand things that are said.
You hit me with that bang, though.
Right, to people who understand things are said in three different levels,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I mean? The surface, the deep, and the shit that goes under the radar.
Exactly.
They're initiating to you that, oh, because he acts this way, this is damn crazy.
Yep.
So let me act this way so people don't say, oh, you're a Kanye West nigga. But when you
Mm-hmm.
act in this way, you are now in control, being in control.
Yep.
Someone's controlling you.
Yep.
Kanye West was all good as long as he remained in the box that they wanted him to be in.
Yep.
Once he started saying, you know what, I could do more than music, he became crazy overnight.
Yeah.
And
And no. This is when he became crazy. Forget the more than music. You given the obvious. He became crazy when he challenged the system and he challenged the darling of the system. The crazy element started with the interrupting of Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Oh no, he shouldn't have fucking done that. Who the fuck? You started seeing artists like Pink, artists, the guy that was announcing the award ceremony. That's when the shit be crazy started coming out of people's mouth. Taylor Lautner, all of these people. How dare him say that a black woman in Beyonce's album was far superior to Taylor Swift, our white country girl that we love, our darling. How dare?
Nobody even knew
That's
who
when crazy started.
nobody even knew who the fuck Taylor Swift was.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye West was correct to do that.
He was absolutely correct to do that.
Why was he correct to do that? It's because how long are you gonna have a voice and sit and get shit on?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck even knew who Taylor? Who knew who Taylor Swift was before that moment? The
Yeah.
fact you didn't know who she was, that she was beating Beyonce in anything, is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because people came to watch that show because Beyonce was there, not Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
Nobody was checking for Taylor Swift at that time.
People came to watch that show because Kanye West was there.
Exactly.
All these black people who push the narrative were there. If black people don't go to the shows, people don't watch them. So you got us here. You're benefiting off our presence, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
giving awards to people no one ever heard of.
Yeah.
So to say Kanye West was a nut for that, you're basically the media's done a good job of you because you
Yep.
don't need.
Neurolinguistic programmed you.
Right. If you're not from this culture, you won't understand what
Nope.
he did.
Yep.
That was years of people getting fucked over, and putting their head down and just taking it. And Kanye West was like, nah, we're not going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to take it.
Yep.
Like, hey, man, hey, Beyonce had the best video all the time.
Yep.
It was the truth. Go watch the videos. Beyonce video was far superior to Taylor Swift's.
They didn't want Beyonce. They didn't want Beyonce to have a full sweep. They didn't want that. She was gonna have a full sweep that night. They didn't want that. They had to justify. They had to justify that night that somebody else had to win. They didn't want that black woman to walk away with a full sweep that night. You know what Kanye West did? Kanye West in that moment had enough courage to set the tone to where when Beyonce had another major album that came out, she did have a full suite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of Kanye West's Conversation. Because when you have an album that is far superior to everyone else, no one else should be winning shit. It should just be you that whole fucking night. Let's just be honest.
Yep, like
And what
Lauryn Hill.
Beyonce was doing at that time, the tear that she was on, come on, man. Nobody was touching her. No one.
Right, like Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill had a full suite.
Yep.
But then after that, when they seen her influence on the black community, and these little black girls didn't want to be like Lil Kim anymore. These little black girls was wearing their natural hair.
Yep.
Blase, they was growing dreads, growing their braids out and shit.
Yep.
They tore Lauryn Hill down overnight.
Overnight.
And then they replaced it with who? With fucking with fucking Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallions, like Dots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's no way that Taylor Swift, there's no way that Beyonce gets all of the other awards that night, lesser awards, but the most important video of the year. Come on, man. They did that on purpose. Video of the year, they give it to Taylor Swift. And if you look at Taylor Swift's video of the year, that shit don't compare.
No one even knew. No one knew what the video was.
Exactly.
Now the first time I saw the video all year, it was on the award show. How could that video win of the year?
And that video was topping Dangerously in Love. Come on, man.
Right. To say Kanye's a nut for doing that is to say you're not in touch or you just believe whatever the media says.
Exactly.
Because what was wrong with that? It was the truth. Was it rude? Yeah, it was rude. But it's also rude to sit here and say Taylor Swift, someone who no one knows, has done anything better than Beyonce.
Exactly.
She shouldn't have won an award that whole night. She should have been happy to be nominated.
And if she was going to win one award, it should have been the most inferior award. Probably just in her category.
She should have won an award for her category.
She should have won Best Country Award. That's it.
What they do with these awards is when there's non-black people, when it's black people, they get the R&B award is a black award.
Yeah.
The rap award most of the time is a black award, unless it's Eminem.
Exactly.
Those awards are for black people.
Yep.
The big awards, always all of a sudden, it be white people out of nowhere whom
that get the awards.
You never heard their music. Like,
exactly.
Bro, how's this music? We don't have it didn't push the culture forward. It couldn't be that good if we don't know about it. Right?
Every song on that Beyonce album was penetrating the Billboard 200 on such a stupid level. I mean, it was ridiculous. There was no way that nobody should have touched her that night. No way. She was on another. It's like she was floating in the fucking air. This woman was dropping songs that, I mean, she had this Ave Maria song. I mean, she was in a zone at that time that, I mean, it was ridiculous. The zone that this woman was fucking in, man. Like, it was just off the fucking charts. So for Taylor Swift to come in and get an award, Kanye West was well within his right. And even that night when he did that, I'm going to tell you right now, Ross, that night I said, I'm glad he fucking did that shit. Because I was like, how the fuck did Taylor Swift win over Beyonce? I'm glad someone stood up. I said that night.
But here's the thing, though. This goes to show you how black people, I'm not speaking about you, just us as a community, even the black brown community, we accept the opinions of celebrities only if it's something we agree with.
Facts.
If it's something we agree with, we won't even sit in the contemplate if we're wrong. We'll say the person's crazy, they don't know, or they shouldn't be speaking on that. Say, for instance, when Kanye spoke out against George Bush, even though he put his whole career on the line and he could have been blackballed, we loved that. We loved that. We verbally said we loved it. But we didn't love him for doing it. We just loved the fact that he said something we wanted to say. But we loved him for doing it. It means that now he should have some type of grace when he says something you don't quite understand. When he did the Taylor Swift shit, Black people loved it. The only black
Mm-hmm.
people who didn't love it was black people who had to kiss the ass of white people.
Exactly.
The corporate people in corporate America didn't love it.
Yep.
Now they
Yep.
gotta talk about that shit at work.
Yeah.
Regular black people loved it.
Yeah. And behind closed doors, Beyonce, because you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they just PC with it. But behind closed doors, I heard Beyonce hugged them, kissed them, thanked him for that shit because she was very happy that her brother stood up for her. Her little brother stood
Right.
up for her. She
But the
loved that
fact
shit.
but the fact that she can't show it, the fact that Jay-Z can't show it is the problem with this society.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're doing what they had to do for their brand, but the fact that they had to do anything besides be who they actually are for their brand is a
Yeah.
problem. It's
Well,
a
well,
problem.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. In them doing that, yes, you're absolutely right. The fact that they had to be in that position, you are absolutely right. There's no excuse with that.
No, I'm not
But
saying
them,
they're wrong
but
or right. I'm
them,
saying it's a problem that the society puts black people in the position where they tentative about standing shoulder to shoulder with somebody
but
because
I'm glad that they kept it PC because you know what ended up happening? They got to such a high level to where they stopped being PC
right,
and they started now having enough power to do what the fuck they wanted to do. Like the way that they've illustrated themselves in that the joint effort of the Carters, that album is very graphic. The shit
right.
that they're talking about, the lyrics that they're talking about, they've gotten themselves to a level now to where they can push shit like that out. Then they went a long while during Obama's campaign because they got so big to that level to where they could do it that Beyonce just went on a tirade about all kinds of shit with black women. She went on tirades with all kinds of shit that had to deal with black issues, shit that would have easily got them erased off of celebrity status if they would have done it so many years before. They were now in a position to where they could do it.
Maybe erased. Kanye West still here.
But see, Kanye West's personality is built for that. Everybody's personality is not.
Right.
Kanye West was born out the womb to be the individual that he is. Everyone is not, everyone doesn't have,
It's a lot of pressure.
everyone doesn't have that button to where they don't give a fuck and they'll just say whatever they got to say. You know why I like the way that Kanye West is and the way that he moves is because I'm like that a lot on YouTube. I will say some shit. I don't give a fuck what any of you motherfuckers think. Subscribers, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And y'all will challenge me. Everybody knows that. James Dag will tell you there'll be times James Dag will be mad at me. Joseph will be mad at me. Ross will be. I don't give a fuck. Because if I believe this is what I'm saying, this is what the fuck is gonna be. And then there's could be times where I'm gonna change the trajectory. Like right now, that's right. You motherfuckers need to hear it. And Ross is gonna laugh. Donate to fucking motivate. There's a time and a period right now where you motherfuckers are not getting my voice. And you want to know why you're not getting my voice? Because you motherfuckers don't know how to appreciate shit. If you want my voice, donate to fucking motivate.
Exactly.
I'm an OG in YouTube right now. I'm a fucking OG. OG need to get OG severance pay. OG need to get OG money. OG need to get OG participation. So guess what? Until you motherfuckers come correct, and I'm talking about the regular people that support the channel. I don't, to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna say some shit, and it's gonna be the most Kanye West shit I've ever said. And if it pisses you motherfuckers off, I don't give two flying fucks. I never gave two cows fucks. I honestly don't give a fuck what you guys think. You tell me, well, we need Spence videos, we need this, we need that. I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? You know who's my most loyal people right now? My shorts people. They come in, they know how to hit that subscription button, they know how to cash app, they know how to fucking donate, and they're going to get my fucking attention. You want your Spence videos? You want your basketball videos? You want this? Learn how to hit the fucking donation button. Learn how to donate to fucking motivate. And I said this to this dude the other day. He said, the nerve of you. And I said, the nerve of you to even think you can put a comment on my shit. Oh, yeah. He said, man, you know, I miss your Spence videos, man. Why you don't do Spence? Donate to motivate. And then he dropped a comment back. The nerve of you to say, man, I could go out there. I said, but why you begging? Why are you sitting here out there saying you the voice of fucking reason? If I'm the voice of fucking reason, donate to fucking motivate.
Man, they be giving you those compliments to try to throw you off. A lot of people use
Yeah,
compliments as fucking manipulation, man. You know what I
exactly.
mean? They had a cat tell me he's like, man, your snowfall breakdowns are to die for. You need to do more of those. I said, you know what? Those take a lot of time, man. They take a lot of time. They take a lot of effort because once you start doing them, they want more and more and more. But you guys refuse to even like, to even comment. You want to read the shit and take the game. You want to watch videos, take the game, and just leave. The audacity to think a nigga supposed to spend a whole day in front of YouTube and you pay less for Starbucks. You mean something you can't donate $7? You know what I mean? Like that. That'd be like me going to the barber and she do a good job, and me thinking I don't got to tip her. Why? Why I don't got to tip?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Oh, I paid her for a service, so I don't got to tip. No, man, because anybody can cut your hair. Everybody can cut your hair exactly how you want it.
Exactly.
Even the best barbers can cut your shit exactly how you want it. Because some of them don't give a fuck enough. They just give you a decent enough cut to get the
Mm-hmm.
money. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, what we speaking on when we say that, my point is with this situation is when Kanye is saying something or when a black man is saying something that we agree with,
Exactly.
we support their freedom of speech.
Yeah.
When they say something we don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
we attack it.
Yeah.
Because or we say something that hurt our feelings. A lot of
Yep.
people's feelings were hurt when
Yep.
Kanye West didn't do what they wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
The expectation for Kanye West when Trump got in office was for Kanye West to tear down Trump and to
Yep.
argue with him
Yep.
the way he got at Bush.
Yep.
Kanye West would never say nothing to Bush. And Bush didn't do that fuck shit with
Yep.
Katrina.
Yep.
Bush was almost out of office.
Yep.
If he didn't do that fuck shit with Katrina, now, no, he wasn't always. He was halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't do that fuck shit with Katrina, Kanye would never said nothing, but he did some fuck shit with Katrina. He was riding helicopters over them drowning, didn't send no help to the people who were dying. He deserved what Kanye West said.
Yeah.
But had those been white people, they wouldn't have to. It would have been so long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was the truth.
Yeah. And they marginalized him during his little presidency run, when he was talking about, issues that happened in, his household with his family. Because, there's always this PC quote unquote way that, people are viewed when it comes to presidential candidates. They have to, quote unquote, married. They have to look like they're in a relationship, even though that relationship may not be nothing much of nothing. The guy's probably fucking another guy in the ass, while this woman over here is probably getting her twat eaten out by another chick. But in
Right.
public, they both have to look like the model couple. And Kanye was talking about his reality. He's not in a position like that. He's not in a situation like that. And you know what the media did? They just turned on his ass because of his realness. Oh, why did he break down? Why did he cry about the situation that happened between his father and mother? That's because the shit actually fucking happened.
The thing about it is, shouldn't you cry
Yep.
under those circumstances?
Yep.
The fact that that's a problem is a big problem with the world.
Yeah.
The fact that, particularly if you're a black man, you can't have no emotions except the emotions black people say you can have.
And the thing with Kanye, there's one trait that me and Kanye share, and a lot of people on YouTube see that with me, and Kanye deals with it. We're always innovating a thought, and Ross will tell you, we always become martyrs of the thought. It's not until the amplified geniuses like Ross come behind and say it, and everybody's like, oh shit, that shit makes fucking sense. But original motherfucker, when they say it, they have to be the martyr for it. They have to be marginalized for the shit.
What you mean? So
What I mean by that is,
are you saying I'm not original?
what I mean by that is, I'm gonna a thought that I'll put out, right? I'll say something along the lines. It could be sports. It could be something that has to do with a controversial topic where everybody will go one way and see things this way. And then I'll tell everybody, nah, man, this is the way you motherfuckers need to see this shit. I'll be marginalized as crazy. He knows, man, you a crazy motherfucker, man. You know what the fuck you talking about. You talking out your ass. You talking some dumb shit. You talking some crazy shit. Case in point, I'll bring it up. The Loma situation. I was already ahead of the curve. I already knew what the fuck was going on. I already knew the shit was bad in of itself. I just needed Teofimo Lopez to have his fucking downfall. A lot of people thought I was fucking crazy, wrote me the fuck off, thought I was this weirdo.
Oh,
Come to find out,
in that instance, man, you didn't say the same thing.
I know we didn't say the same thing, but what I'm saying is, so many months later, all of these people, oh shit, man, you with the shit that you were saying about Loma, man, it was fucking right. It was fucking right. But the problem was, the reason why they didn't want to accept that is because they already had a version in their mind of what Loma represented to them. I wasn't defending Loma. I don't give two flying fucks about Loma. I don't care about Loma like that. But one thing about me is right and wrong is wrong. And I don't care if you look a certain way or you have a certain ethnicity behind you. If something is wrong, I'm going to defend. I'm going to speak against wrong. If something is right, I'm going to defend against the position of right. I knew that this whole thing with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko, the way that fight went down, let's be honest. If Teofimo Lopez if the shoe was on the other foot and Teofimo Lopez was not the person that they wanted to push Loma out, and Bob Arum was like, okay, Loma, I'm tired of you. I need another face to push the agenda. It would have been status quo. A fight like that is controversial the way it is, the elder statesman keeps the belt and then you have a rematch. That's how usually boxing works in fights like that. There's always going to be a rematch when there's a controversial fight to that degree.
I personally
it's never going to be, okay, you definitively win.
Yeah, I personally didn't see it as a controversy at all. I thought it was a good fight. Appreciate it. I thought it was a good fight, but nonetheless, Loma got started way too late. When he got started, he did all right. He did pretty good once he got started, but he got started too late. Like after like the 7th, damn the 8th round, you started to fight back. You know what I'm saying? So
and I'm okay with your assessment. Yeah. I'm okay with your assessment on it. You kept your position the way that you kept it from day one.
I felt you was right about
the universal position. The universal position was not your position, Tomross. The universal position was it was controversial. And if it's a controversial situation, in those instances, you don't award the belt to a newcomer. You run it back. That's the natural order of how you do things. You run that shit back. You say, okay, you was in a fight where you was challenged. We giving you the belt. We felt like you lost the fight, but you're gonna have an immediate rematch. That's exactly what will happen. Any normal instance, this is how boxing would have governed itself, but it didn't govern itself that way. And then what ended up happening is they give the belt to this kid who basically took the division and turned it into shit. I knew he was gonna do that shit.
Right.
I saw it for what it was, because the product that I saw in front of me with this kid, it wasn't matching up and it wasn't adding up, because he was not going to be the torchbearer. You know, in sports and in anything in life, there always has to be the proper torchbearer for things. When you're not the proper torchbearer, you're gonna fuck shit up. People don't understand that. What Teofimo Lopez did in him getting the belt, he made the lightweight division turn to literal shit. It no longer had an esteem no more. There was no longer this allure of Tank versus Loma. Loma versus Tank. That shit was in the gutter. That shit was gone. Now it was Teofimo Lopez holding the belts. Teofimo Lopez not fighting Devin Haney. Teofimo Lopez doing this. Teofimo Lopez doing that. But I can't sit here and say that I did not see the forecast of that actually happen, because I did see the forecast of that happening. I got riled for it. I got criticized for it. I got vindicated for it. And then this guy ends up getting exposed by George Kambosos Jr. Here goes all of these chunk commentators on my fucking channel. Man, I didn't see what the fuck you was talking about, man. You was talking that shit. I was trying to see what the fuck you was talking about, but I didn't understand your language. This is what I'm talking about when I say a lot of people, because they have a conventional way of thinking, Ross, and they have a conventional mindset, they can never see someone who has a transforming mindset viewpoint. They can't. So what they do is they ride that person off, or they write this person off as crazy. They look at this person as, you're weirdo. And it wasn't just the Loma situation. I've had this with Spence. People have told me that because I gave a logical response every time to Spence, I was a Spence nut hugger. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Because I always said that this guy cannot hold the candle to Earl Spence's abilities. I'm a what? I'm just telling the truth. So because I'm not conventionally saying that Earl Spence can get washed by Terrence Bud Crawford, which is a lie, I don't believe that.
Now, in this instance, I see the parallel.
I don't conventionally believe that. So if I don't conventionally believe that, then I'm going to speak against it. And I get criticized. I get vilified for that. So now you know what they tell you? Oh, you fanboying. But motherfuckers that sit here and talk about Canelo Alvarez and do Canelo Alvarez videos and say, well, Canelo told Jamal, how the fuck do you know that? Are you in Canelo's inside team? I don't talk that way. I'm not in no person's inside team. Canelo is going to negotiate, and you can see they're wrong, because what ended up happening? He's fighting Bivol. So what happened to all this lingo when you said Canelo's going to fight Jamal and Canelo is not ducking Jamal? So were you saying that for hyperbole? Or were you saying that because you just wanted to talk shit? Now, is that fanboying compared to me making
saying that because that's what
viewpoint on? Come on.
You're saying that because that's what Canelo fans want to hear.
Exactly.
That's what they want to hear. I think a big fallout you had was just the fact that you said Teofimo lost. But I think the reason why this is what I think. You knew if Teofimo won, he was going to die. So you didn't want him to win.
I didn't want him to win because I knew that was going to happen.
And when he won, you didn't want him to be able to celebrate his win. So out came what happened. But I knew he was going to duck too, but I didn't think that he lost. I thought he won. And I knew it was coming because of that win. But it needed to happen because, like I said, this is like a Mayweather curse, man. Mm-hmm. Whenever people make their name off Mayweather and people start saying that they better, they always lose.
But here's the thing, and that's why I was able to defend Loma's position, and I got a lot of flack for it. Loma out of his mouth, trust me, you know me. I don't just, one thing about me, Ross knows this better than anybody. If I say something, you best believe I did the research before I said it, because I don't just say things off of flat air. And I have not found one time, one video, one moment where Loma himself, other people that they've done this Floyd comparison with, like Teofimo, they have come out blatantly out of their own mouths and say, yeah, I am better than Floyd. Or they'll say some stupid shit that they agree. I have not found one time where Loma said that. And every time we asked Loma, Loma would divert the question, and Loma would talk about Floyd's greatness and would say, man, his shoulder roll defense. He said he even went as far as to say he would have to break down his whole boxing career and relearn from scratch how to do the Mayweather defense. And then he even went, and this is how I know he was humble about it. He said, and even if he did that, he don't even know if he would have picked it up then. That's not a motherfucker that's talking shit. That's his fan base that's doing that shit. And he never co-signed his fan base. He never did that. His only criticism that Loma had with Mayweather was about Tank. Why is Tank ducking me? But he never disrespected Mayweather. So a guy like that, I could not sit here and fundamentally talk shit against him if he didn't give me no evidence blatantly out of his own mouth where he's criticizing Floyd Mayweather. And I saw how Floyd Mayweather came to his defense when he was going through the shit that he went through. Because Floyd don't go through nobody's defense. You trust and believe, especially if you talk shit about Floyd. He's not going to do that. But Floyd did that with him because of the fact that he respected the code. One thing you could say about Loma, if you don't say nothing else, Loma respects the history of boxing. Mm-hmm. Now, his fan base, they're fucking weirdos. Let's just be honest. His fan base has put him in a position to where he's looked at as this character that you can hate. But in all essence, was he doing it personally himself? No, there was no evidence of me seeing that. Yeah. So that's why I could defend him. It was because of that.
My opinion of any celebrity is never personal. My opinion on LeBron James ain't personal. Mm-hmm. I have a personal stake against LeBron James. He's just not as good as people were saying he was.
Facts.
I have nothing personal against Lomachenko. He's just ain't as good as people were saying he was. You know what I mean? And it showed when he lost against Salido, when he lost against Teofimo Lopez. For whatever reasons, if he was constipated, he needed to take the shit, or if he thought the fight started in round 8 and really started in round 1, for whatever reason, he ain't doing enough. But with that being said, to bring it back home to Kanye, when you have a popular opinion that black people agree with, they love you. We don't know how to disagree with people and love them at the same time. Mm-hmm. We think someone disagreeing with us means they're our enemy. That's not the case.
It never is the case.
It's never the case. People just don't agree with you. That don't mean they hate you.
No.
That don't mean they're conspiring against you.
No.
They just don't agree. You know what I mean? Nope. Like, niggas like, oh, he wore the MAGA hat. He's with Trump. Niggas missed the whole conversation. He was in there with a MAGA hat talking about we got to free Larry Hoover. How did y'all miss that?
Yep.
With a free Larry Hoover, how you see the hat and miss the free Larry Hoover t-shirt? He don't get in there with that t-shirt talking about Larry Hoover if he don't have the hat on. At one point, people want to vote, but they don't understand politics. You have to do something for politicians for them to give a fuck about what you want them to give a fuck about. That's politics, man. Politicians just don't do shit for black people. You have to be able to provide something for them. And what Kanye provided for Trump in that moment was validation from a high class celebrity. Something that most of the black celebrities they were afraid to do publicly. They were voting for Trump, and then they were publicly saying Kanye West shouldn't be voting for Trump. Same people that were voting for him themselves. They were just cowards. They had to do shit behind closed doors that Kanye West wasn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the issue, man.
And the thing that's funny is, you know, what people don't understand with Kanye West is an artist that, how should I say it? He's an artist that has basically told himself that he's not going to toe company line. And the reason why Donald Trump backed him during the time that he backed him was because he just liked the fact that this guy has a characteristic like myself that I could relate to. He's not going to sit there and he's not just going to accept what you want him to accept. He's going to do things his way. This is where they both have that same characteristic. if you saw Trump when he was on Twitter, man, Trump was unstoppable on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing they could have ever done was put him on Twitter. His campaign was smart to say, you know what you do best is you run your fucking mouth,
Yep.
but you run it in a way to where it's always trending. So let's put you in a place to where you can always be trending. And that's what happened. He would just say some shit, some outlandish shit, and that shit moved. It moved the thumb. And you know what it did? It showed that a president of the United States can actually be modernized. Because you know, presidents have always been given this regal look. They've always been given this kind of like ancient personality where they're out of touch.
Right.
That ended with this guy. And this guy is 70 years old doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole, you know, people are older, are not tech savvy and all that bullshit.
No, typical normal people aren't. Not Trump.
Exactly. Bullshit. And I'm going to be honest with you. They should have just allowed this man to have his 2 terms. Because when you do this whole shift like this and you bring in a different party that gives this illusion as if they're liberal, one of the biggest lies they've ever told you is that the Democratic Party is liberal. Case in, go look at I don't know if you remember the black photographer that was taking pictures of birds and shit in the New York park.
No.
He got stopped by a white liberal woman who treated him in that moment like quote unquote
I know what you're talking about.
What they would identify Republicans as treating people. She treated him very conservative. She called the cops on him. She treated him like he was a fucking nigger. Why the fuck are you in this area taking pictures of birds when in actuality he belonged in that area? He actually had more money than her. And he actually lived in that fucking area and he was taking pictures of fucking birds. And when it came out who he was and his position in life, and it came out that this is his hobby and what he did, she wanted to come out and then try to be liberal on fucking camera and basically make herself seem like, oh, you know, I didn't know, I apologize. But when there was no camera around, her ass treated him worse than the way that they portray Republicans to treat people.
The only difference between a Republican and a liberal is the way they come off.
Yep.
Republicans, they're straightforward. And liberals, they understand they can manipulate stupid dumb niggas if they act like liberals the type of nigga who instead of saying good morning, how you, they'll be like, that's a nice chain you got on. How much did you pay for that?
Yep.
Who starts a conversation off like that? Out of everything you notice, you comment on the chain. Or you walk up to me and say, 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. Like, bro, who starts off conversations like that? When you see me, you think about Jay-Z lyrics? The weirdo conversations, they're holding back how racist they are.
Yeah.
But it's spilling over. They talk to you in fucking rap lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So black people be like, such cool, man. That nigga, he do the whole Jay-Z song. They don't never stop to think like, why the fuck this motherfucker walk with me rapping Jay-Z? How the fuck you know I even listen to rap?
Yep.
How can you assume that by the way I look? We are simple when there's a spell put on us when it comes to white people.
Exactly.
We become simple-minded as a motherfucker when it comes to white people, man.
Yep.
A white person could walk up to a black person and say whatever the fuck they want to say, and niggas would put out their phone and be like, why are you talking to me like this, sir? What did I do to you? They will become very understanding and very nonviolent with white people.
Yeah.
The same person would damn near kill a black man if you can't walk up to them and said, why the fuck you in this building?
Yeah.
Get out of this building, or you can't go to your apartment till the police come.
Yep.
The police won't have to get there for you to get down. You wait for the police to get there with that white man.
Yeah.
You treat him like
if you look at the brother when this shit was happening in Central Park, the brother was dressed exactly the way that you're supposed to be dressed as a photographer taking fucking pictures. He had his binoculars. He had his camera. He had his basically. I mean, the dude looked like Banana Republic nerd.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you the full fucking look. But she sits there on her fucking phone with a dog barking all over the place. This is why this shit looked. It made it look like he was a criminal because of the look. You know the picture that they gave you in the media. They showed a picture of the dog. People don't understand how images can fuck people's heads up. You have a white woman that looks like she's in distress, and you have a dog that looks uncontrolled, like the dog is barking all over the place, like this
Right.
person is a threat, even though the dog is a non-threatening dog. You have to understand the psychological tones that this shit turns on people. This man was Harvard educated, dog. This man
Right.
had his ducks in a row. He had his shit together. But no, she had to, because she had to complain and she had to run her fucking mouth, and she felt uncomfortable. She wanted him to get beat up. She wanted
Yeah.
to see him get tased. She wanted to see him get demoralized, dismantled right in front of her. I want to do I wish I could do like a test on people that are us, where you could like put something on someone's body and see how they react when they are around white people, and see how their blood pressure changes,
It
see
goes
how
up.
their sweat patterns change, see how everything changes, and see what the test says from when they're in their normal instance and when they're in a position like that where things change. I guarantee you the readings that you're going to get on this test is going to be off the fucking charts.
Yeah. It goes up because yeah, think about it. Most black people change the way they act and the way they speak when they're around white people. To
Yep.
constantly make that decision to change, I mean something physiological. What's the word? I got food in my mouth. But something physically is happening to you when you got to do all that.
Oh, you're talking about physiological?
Yeah, physiological. Something physiologically is happening to you when you change the way you diction.
Yep.
You change the way you move. You change what you laugh at just because you're in the presence of white people. So now imagine you're in a stressful environment with white people.
Yep.
You get pulled over by a police officer. Now
Yep.
imagine that. And he's being aggressive towards you.
Yep. And you know what was undermined with the whole Central Park Karen situation? She was deliberately she was deliberately abusing her dog. She was yanking the dog's neck. They didn't even look at all that shit. Any normal person would have gotten a fine for that shit. She was yanking the dog's neck. She was basically throwing the dog around while she was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling sorry for the damn little dog. This is not no pit bull. This is not no big ass fucking dog. This is one of these little poodles. She was choking this motherfucker out all because she was locked in and focused in on the phone call.
That dog lover shit is bullshit. Some people don't understand. It's bullshit. They treat dogs like shit, bro. The dog lover shit is bullshit for them to seem like they're more humane and more nice than regular people.
Exactly.
And if you're humane and you're nice, you'll treat people as humanely as possible.
Yep.
You'll treat people well, not animals.
Yep.
That's a sign of you being a sociopath. Or
Yep.
you have an antisocial personality disorder if you could be nice to animals when you can't be nice to people.
Exactly.
That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
And
But the
now the
thing,
question, it begs the question, um, are these terms that people use that are taboo, are they really terms that people are following? And should they just do away with it? Or they're just going to keep it around because they know people are neuro linguistic programmed to see things a certain way.
mm-hmm, right about that, man.
Because that's
Right.
what neuro linguistic programming is. It's basically people, and this is what people don't understand. The whole element of neuro-linguistic programming, it's a pseudo scientific approach to communication, personal development, psychotherapy, right? But when you look at the underlying undercurrent of it, the way that neuro-linguistic program works is it's supposed to affect people that have, catch this, Ross, people that have phobias, people that have depression, people that have disorders, people that have psychosomatic illnesses, people that are nearsighted, people that have allergies, people that have the common cold, and people that have learning disabilities. Basically, it's meant to affect people that are already at a vulnerable state. So if you're already at a vulnerable state, when we filter information to you, you're going to always look at it as a scare tactic. And they know this. So this is why someone can say that Kanye West was a nut,
right,
for interrupting Taylor Swift, because the neuro-linguistic programming told you that what Kanye West did was so bad. He was an animal. He was vicious. So if you're already dealing with depression, right? And you're depressed about something, and then now you get a neuro-linguistic programming message that tells you this person's an animal, what do you think it does to your disability? It
right.
heightens it.
Heightens it.
It heightens it, and then when it heightens it, it turns around and uses it against you. That's what neuro-linguistic programming is all about. The media understands that, and they understand scare tactics. This is why they filter to you in the news every day killings. People are dying. There's a reason why they cover this shit every day.
That keeps
They want to keep hitting
in a vulnerable state,
subconscious and vulnerable state.
As long as they keep you in a vulnerable state, then they can suggest whatever they want to.
Exactly.
People must realize this is the reason why TMZ hit Kanye the way they did. First of all, if you want to be accurate with anything, you are thorough with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't accurately speak on a book that you have not read from cover to cover.
Exactly.
You can't instantly speak on a book that you have not read from cover to cover and sat with what you read and going back to make sure what you read is really how you feel. Now you can instantly talk about it. But what they did with Kanye West is they took a sentence of the whole book and said this was this whole conversation was about.
Yep.
This whole conversation was about.
Yep.
And black people said, "Oh, we don't like this,"
mm-hmm.
and we just ate it up.
We ate that shit up like white on rice.
And the irony of it is the guy who was so-called pressing Kanye and getting emotional, Van Lathan, they fired that motherfucker 6 months later because he said something smart. So he got aggressive with a white guy that was a racist. They fired him.
Yep.
Selling out your own people never prospers. And he's still on his own little platform talking shit about Kanye. Like, bro, the reason why you got this small ass platform, and because people ate up that shit you said about Kanye, you should be thanking Kanye.
Exactly.
But here's the deal. In that conversation, Kanye spoke about so many things that they couldn't speak. They couldn't let you hear everything. So they wanted to give you a snapshot of what they wanted to give you a snapshot of that conversation, so you wouldn't go watch it all. Exactly. They made you upset enough, you would not go watch that. You would just take what the media said and it worked to a charm. Majority of people who got a problem with Kanye West to this day have not watched that whole interview.
And you know why?
Good.
You want to know why they didn't watch the whole interview? Because what people got to understand is Kanye West is public enemy number one, because he's going to be that guy that's going to sit there and you're going to put a mic in front of him and he's going to challenge everything that you got to fucking say. He's not just going to go by what you're saying. If he feels that what you're saying is wrong, he's going to say, hold up, that don't sound right.
Right.
And anytime you challenge people that way, you have a problem. Kobe Bryant is that way. That's why they hate. I'm telling you right now, journalists used to hate covering Kobe Bryant post game. especially when Kobe lost. Woo, they hated that more than anything. Kobe was already cold. He already had like a cold chill about him, even when he won. Now imagine when he lost. They dreaded those moments because they knew Kobe didn't want to talk in that moment. So since he didn't want to talk and he had no choice but to talk, if you were gonna say something stupid, let's just say you was gonna be the victim, and he didn't care who you were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was basically questioning people's credentials. Like, aren't you a journalist? How long you been covering the Lakers? Like, he would say shit like that.
Right.
How long have you been doing this job? And you're asking a question like that?
Right. Wow.
Like, I can't believe you're asking that question. Do you watch basketball?
Right.
Why would you even ask, am I taking the game serious? What kind of question is that?
Right.
Shit that LeBron would say, would taboo and say, well, of course we took the game serious, and entertain the dumb fucking question, even though it's a dumb fucking question. Really? You're asking a professional athlete, are you taking the game serious? How dumb is that?
Right.
And you want me to answer that shit?
So, Paul Reloaded said, didn't he say slavery was a choice? What else did he say besides that?
Exactly.
Because that's one sentence that's paraphrased. What else did he say besides that?
Exactly. What was the meat and potatoes of the whole conversation?
The fact that that's the only thing you remember is because that's the only thing they told you to focus on.
And that was what you were neurolinguistic programmed to think. You want to know why you were neurolinguistic programmed to think that? Because they kept putting scare tactics behind that quote. That's what they do. They find a quote that's adverse to the person's thought process, and they harp on that shit over and over and over again. And then guys like you post reloaded because you either were depressed, you had some form of PTSD, or you had some kind of mental illness. They harped on that vulnerability and it locked. And now neurolinguistic program has heightened your state of, man, fuck Kanye.
The thing about it, and it is sad that every time I ask people what else did he say, yeah, but that's all he kept saying. It wasn't all he kept saying. He said a lot of shit.
He said a whole lot of shit.
He never said slavery was a choice. He said after 400 years, that sounds like a choice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after 400 years of doing anything, hell, after a year of doing anything, you have now made a choice. If he knows his sports meets me a year from now and he knocks me over my head and he kidnaps me, the first year I don't know where the fuck I'm at, blase, blase, blase. If the second year he could let me out the cage and we dapping each other up, we drinking beers, now I'm making a choice.
Yep.
To say, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna stay here.
Yep.
If Nat Turner made a choice to kill for freedom, that people made a choice to remain slaves. Exactly. If slaves made a choice to run away, that means people made a choice to stay.
Mm-hmm.
If General Toussaint in Haiti made a choice to gather his people against the French, anybody who was against him made a choice to remain slaves.
Exactly.
You don't have it one way.
Yep.
It's not these people made the choice to be brave, but these people didn't make the choice. Yes, after hundreds of years, you not fighting for your freedom is a choice to remain a slave.
Exactly.
It hurts your feelings because you're a fake person. And majority of people are fake people. Because this society tells you if you show your realness at any point, we'll crack you.
Yep.
So because you're a fake person, that answer was too real for you.
Exactly.
And because you don't have the courage to say that, you had a problem with that. But exactly. Deep down, you knew it was true because it hurts you. Lies don't hurt like the truth does.
Mm-mm.
The truth
Mm-mm.
cuts. There's a whole nation.
That shit cut deep.
There's a whole nation of Filipinos right now who can't get over the fact that Floyd Mayweather is better than Manny Pacquiao.
Well, the 2015 fight proved that.
If Manny Pacquiao would have won that fight, as much as they would have been proud, they would have stopped talking about it right now. They
Of
talk
course
about
they
the
would have
fight.
stopped talking about it.
They talk about the fight every day because Manny lost, and it's the truth that cuts him every day that he was never that good.
Exactly.
But they weren't even on the same level. He was never good enough to even be in the ring with Floyd.
Yep.
Look how easy the fight was. So
Yep.
the reason why you only can say that, because truth be told, you didn't watch the whole interview.
Exactly.
You're controlled. You're exactly the type of people the powers that be like and love and want. The easy
And they're
control.
gonna keep controlling you. You know why they're gonna keep controlling you? Because they know they're dealing with the blind, the dumb, the deaf, and the stupid. They just know it. Because they know that mental illness can exacerbate when people are in a pressurized situation. Pressure does that.
He said, "Nah, I was just making sure I didn't misquote him. Really, you did
No, what you're doing is this is what you're doing. And we all do that. When you get caught up in what you really wanted to say and you being fact checked, now you want to clean it up. That's what's happening.
yeah,
Let's be honest. It's
yeah,
okay to admit that. To say, you know what? You right, Ross. You know, I did miss see it that way. Or you know what? You right, he knows. I did get neuro linguistic program. This is the problem with human beings. We've lost the element of admitting when we were fucked, when we saw something in a very fucked up way.
right,
We're losing that art.
right. And the problem is you and everybody who says that, and just that alone, you're all misquoting Kanye West.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was a quote on the headline, but the quote um was misquoting Kanye West.
Yeah,
And you repeating that, you misquoted Kanye West because you can't speak on that unless you took in everything that was said.
exactly.
That's how a conversation works. You could take one piece of this conversation me and him having, and you could turn it to wherever you want. You
Yep.
can't turn the whole conversation. The whole conversation is a big picture.
Yep.
You can't turn the whole conversation into wherever you want because it drives one way.
Exactly.
But you could take a piece of it when we went on a tangent to tie it into something else, and you could say, "Oh, he said this. He said Floyd Mayweather." You can make this whole shit about Floyd Mayweather if you take this one piece.
Yep.
They played us like idiots when it came to Kanye West, and we fell for it.
Yep. I mean, we
They
not
are
only
playing the
fell,
black community like fucking idiots right now.
we not only fell for it, we ran with the idea of the bullshit that came with it. That's what happened. Our minds ran with the bullshit that was put in front of us. We decided on our thought process that it was okay for us to accept the bullshit that came in front of our heads, and we ran with that bullshit. And
Then
that's the thing with people. They don't question themselves no more. There was a time in life where people used to question themselves and question their judgment and question the way that they move and question if what they were saying was right or what they were saying made sense. People don't do shit like that no more.
no, they just go with whatever the media says or whatever's popular.
Yep.
And they try to clown everybody else who's different.
Yep.
It's people who sitting in their mother's basement right now that say Kanye West is crazy. He making bad choices. This nigga's worth $6+ billion. He's not owned by a white man. He actually got white people who work for him. He can say what he
Man,
wants.
you being nice. There's niggas sitting here telling you they would choke women out, beat the shit out of them over their sons. And there's men out there that will sit here and tell you they'll beat the shit out of black women, choke them the fuck out, but yet Kanye West is off. I think you being nice about the shit. I'm gonna be straight up. There's
No,
motherfuckers that think like that and telling you this is how Kanye West should be as a parent. But you want to choke the child of your mother out because of what? A dispute? I never heard Kanye West wanted to choke Kim Kardashian out. But you equipped mentally
yeah,
to tell Kanye West how he should parent? Get the fuck out of here, man.
yeah. It's interesting you said that because there's there's a group of people who they're They're drill music fans.
Yeah,
Their favorite rappers rap about killing actual black people.
yeah,
They rap about killing actual black people. They kill them and then they put it in their lyrics.
yep,
And that's fine, and nobody says nothing about it. But it's an issue if Kanye West says something about a white boy.
yeah,
Why? Because he's white. You value this guy's life more than you value your own.
yeah,
There's an issue with that.
yeah,
I have an issue with that.
yeah.
I
And I
have
could
an
tell, and I
issue.
could tell some people in the comment section are getting offended by it because some people left. When you see that happen, when you touch a point and people leave, that means it hit the person personally. It was a chord because they probably doing the shit. They
There,
probably actively doing the shit.
that's the thing. That's the whole point of these lies. To hit these chords.
Yep.
To make them get so used to the truth that the truth don't offend them.
Yeah.
You have to get so used to the truth that the truth don't offend you that you look forward to it. You understand that thing gonna make you better.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell you can sit here and tell me all of a sudden you care so much about Pete Davidson, man.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers will not even talk about Pete Davidson until he started dating Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
So how he go from not being mentioned by the black community and in 2-3 months now y'all care about him more than Kanye?
Exactly.
That go to show you just that disloyal with the people in your own family.
And there's no way you could tell me that you sitting here saying that you want to beat women upside the head, your own black women, because you're no longer with them, and fuck that bitch. I'll fuck that bitch. I'll slap that bitch. I'll hit that bitch hard. You want to talk that way in that vernacular, and then you want to now turn around and say that you are mature enough, you're equipped enough to give Kanye West parental advice. Something about that is not only cryptic, that's some dark shit, man. That's like me watching Batman yesterday. I'm looking at your ass now as the fucking Riddler. Something about that shit ain't adding up to me because
Right.
only a dark, cryptic motherfucker would have the audacity and the nerve to tell people how they should raise their kids when they're doing shit that would land them not in a jail cell, under the fucking prison cell.
Right. And even more so, a lot of these people don't even have children. And a lot of these people not even married or never been married. So what you said really should be taken with a grain of salt. But
Mm-hmm.
you get upset because people are reminding you that what you're saying should be taken with a grain of salt. Like I
Yeah,
said, everybody, no one is no one is infallible.
exactly.
Everyone is susceptible to criticism.
Everyone. And
But
everyone does
fair
dumb shit.
criticism,
And everyone does dumb shit and everyone fucks up.
fair criticism, man.
Yeah.
To say, oh, he knew he was marrying, so that justified his children being put on social media with makeup on the shit at 8 years old. Nah. To say he knew he was married, so that justified her probably was fucking this nigga before they even had a divorce. Cause dude was out in their house and shit,
Yeah.
breaking bread with them, eating at his table. He should not be upset by a man who ate at his table, who now is with his woman. It's bigger
Yeah.
than just her being with somebody else.
Yep.
Dude, you was up underneath me talking about, you know what I mean? Like trying to be buddy with me, and now you doing this. That's a different thing. You was around my children.
Yep. There's a lot of a fair criticism would be, okay, did he not know what he was getting himself into when he got with Kim Kardashian? This is before the kids or whatever.
That
Because
would be fair.
she was married a few times,
That would be fair.
that's a fair criticism because now you're
That's the truth.
you're you're looking at it as, okay, maybe he should have looked at it from that standpoint. But here's where the criticism becomes extra. As human beings, yes, we see things for what they are on the surface, but a lot of times people have this thing where they become blind by the LOVE word. I mean, it is what it is. It's happened to any and everybody. And people have to understand, people want to see things in their natural sense the way they want to see it. But in a lot of instances, if that's the person that person wants to be with, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck are you? Or who the fuck is anybody else to tell that motherfucker they can't be with that person? I'm sorry to say, you cannot tell that person they cannot be with that person. Even with those red flags, so to speak, there. If he chooses to not see the red flags, that's on him. That's a decision he made, and he has to live with that decision. So that's a honest, fair critique. But if you're now saying, well, you know, he got kids and, you know, this is how he should be as a fucking parent, that's not fair. That's not an honest critique. That's just you throwing your fucking venom now off of some shit that's going off in your life. Let's be honest. There's something off in your life that you want to project on this guy because you can't stand him. Let's be honest here.
a lot of times when you can't stand a celebrity, like you know them person, it's because it's person you can't stand about yourself.
Exactly.
Like let's think about this, man. A lot of black men and women, they have no idea what Kanye is going through, even as a parent and even as a child, because no one fought for them.
Mm-hmm.
However it happened, whether your mother was so unbearable that the man left, or if he didn't want the responsibility of being a father, so he left. Either way it go, men have left your life, and your mother had free reigns to do whatever she wanted, abuse you, neglect you, or maybe you had a good mother, like say a Kanye West, but that's few and far between. To have a good mother like that who's not bitter, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why Kanye West is one of the few who came from a single parent household who act the way he does, because he had a mother that was remarkable. Well, 9 times 10, you're gonna have a bitter mother if you being raised just by her alone. So you don't know what it's like for a man to fight for his kids, right? You never had that. No one ever fought for you. Nobody cared enough about you to say you can't raise my son this way. I don't want every nigga in here around my son. I don't want my son playing the game all fucking night. I don't want you putting him in front of the TV all day because you ain't doing nothing with him while you in the back getting fucked. No, you spend some time with my kid. I want you to be a parent. A lot of black people never had that from a man. So we really low key as a community, we jealous.
Mm-hmm.
We jealous, man. Low key. And that's the reason why there's white criticism, we just jump on it. Because low key, we can't even fathom a man to love us so much to where he put his career on the line for us.
Exactly.
We don't even know what it's about. And instead of shutting the fuck up and watching shit, we got something to say because we've been grown by white folks. And if you don't have nothing to say, just agree with us.
Mm-hmm.
Just agree with us because we always right. We've been grown and we don't have nothing to say, or we oppose what's being said that they put out. Just be quiet.
Exactly.
Just be quiet. This is the reason why you could think that it was okay for black people just to sit there and wait for Union soldiers to come free them and for them not to free themselves.
Exactly.
You think they didn't choose to be slaves by doing that?
Exactly.
So they didn't choose to be slaves. So what do that make? What did that make Nat Turner? Troublemaker?
Exactly.
Was he out of pocket for killing these white folks?
No.
No. I'm asking the ignorant black people. Was he out of
pocket? I know you asking ignorant black people. I'm just co-signing what you're saying.
Yeah. Was he out of pocket for killing these people who enslaved these people? Because y'all make it seem like we didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
No. Once niggas started realizing who they were, they started waking up, and people think that Union soldiers came. No, man. We was going to get free out of chattel slavery regardless. Exactly. They came and they controlled the freedom. Basically, they controlled how you was going to be free, where you was going to go, blase. If they had not done that, black people would have been owning everything in the South because all the white
Yep.
people was gonna get killed, man.
Yeah, they were gonna get mutilated.
They're gonna get mutilated. So they came down there and they put a top on how free you can be.
Yep.
So it turns my stomach when people like I thank God for Abraham Lincoln. Bro, Abraham Lincoln is the reason why your ass think you're a slave right now, and
Yep.
you ain't and think you really free, and you not truly free. And that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing people have with Kanye West is they don't know they're not free yet. Once you realize you are not free and you still a slave in a sense, then you'll understand everything Kanye West is saying. It will hit you. But as long as you in your mind think you're actually a free man walking around, that you have the same rights as a white man, then you'll think Kanye West is doing too much and he should calm down and because you don't get it. It's only when you get to that point where you've been marginalized at work, you get an evaluation that's totally bogus, right? The police jump down out the car, just whoop your ass for no fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get charged for fighting the police. It's only when you run up against a brick wall that you understand an album like Jesus.
Yep.
And once you understand that album, I'll tell you this right. There was a lot of shit Kanye West was doing that I didn't know. But me personally, when someone's acting erratic, I don't judge. I just sit back. I take distance and I sit back. I've never quit the judgment. I take distance and I sit back because I've always taught there's a reason for everything happening.
Yep.
You have to understand that reason to speak. The Bible tells you a man should search out the matter first.
Exactly.
Before you say anything, you should know what the hell you are talking about. From top to bottom. Not just a snippet. You should know. Yeah. You should have been intimate with that whole conversation before you said Kanye West got the MAGA hat on like Kanye West.
And that's why we held your ass accountable post reloaded with the misquote of the comment. Because you're supposed to know from top to bottom. This is the problem with people. They don't go back and say, you know what? Let me take the time out and let me go listen to the whole fucking interview.
Right.
And see what was said. No, you know, they just run with the fucking comment. And then when somebody fact checked them, oh yeah, I had misquote. I think I misquoted. No, you didn't take the time out. You was being lazy, motherfucker. That's just like what me and Ross were talking about it yesterday. These motherfuckers that swallow sunflower seeds, or they fuck around and they buy sunflower seeds that don't have the fucking shell. You a lazy motherfucker.
You lazy, man. You're a lazy motherfucker, man. I was telling him that shit last night. Any motherfucker that sit and eat peanuts, they don't got to crack open. Lazy as fuck, man. I don't trust them, motherfucker. You can't work for me. Cause it take 2 seconds to take the shell and break it and get the peanut out, man.
That's it.
You know how fucking lazy you gotta be. Unless they're chocolate covered peanuts that you get, it don't make no sense for you to be eating peanuts that don't got no shell, man.
Yep.
And it don't make no sense to be eating shellless fucking sunflower seeds, bro. The whole point of a sunflower seed is to what? To put the shit in your mouth, to break it open, to spit out the shells, man. It's a pastime. Baseball players do it all the time. They're out in the field. If they're not chewing gum, they're doing something that keeps their mind active. You know what I'm saying? They're chewing. It keeps your mind active. You got to focus on that. Spin out the seeds, right? You're so lazy. You don't take the time to learn how to, and the real savage motherfuckers, niggas that just eat the whole seed altogether. My little brother do that shit. My little brother was so weird, man. He always did shit that pissed me off, man. You know
these are motherfuckers that the savage motherfuckers. These are motherfuckers that, let me say it like this. These are motherfuckers that you think they live in the woods or some shit. Like, I can understand if the world ended and we was on some, I watched that movie on Amazon, Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, some shit, and then you got these weird ass fucking creatures. They don't care about money or anything. They look at human beings as food and they just eat motherfuckers in the future. If it's some shit like that, have you watched that movie?
You talking about Quiet?
No, it's called Tomorrow Day or Day After Tomorrow, some shit like that.
No, I watched
that shit is crazy. But anyways, let's just say their kids, grandkids, and shit like that came 30 years from the future. into the past to come and enlist the humanity that was living 30 years prior, because these creatures are just basically eating all of them off as food. Like they're just eating them. They don't care about money. They don't care about nothing. They just eating these motherfuckers like they food or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So my take on it is, unless you in the fucking jungle or some shit and you need nourishment for both the seed and fucking sunflower seed because you can't eat anything else, you should not be doing that.
Right.
It should only be a life and death situation where you need
Right.
all the fucking nutrients.
Right. You're a fucking savage. You eating the whole fucking sunflower seed.
Yeah.
Let me address this. On any other live stream you see He Knows the Sports doing, I'm a guest. But this one here, this particular one here, we are 50-50 venture.
Yep.
So post reloaded. I believe Masvidal is going to win. But when we're having a conversation, there's a topic. Please let your Snapchat, please let your super chats and the topics you bring up be about what we're speaking on.
Exactly.
Not what you just want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Salute for you to doing a little donation. We appreciate that.
Exactly.
But man, respect the platform and speak about what we're speaking about. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And see, Ross is nice about the shit. I'm gonna be straight mean because that's me. I'm bad cop. He's good cop. I'm bad cop. Especially when you give a little chunky $2 If you're gonna talk about a topic that has nothing to do with the fuck we talking about, make that bitch $20.
At least.
At least. If you're gonna say Maz Devo or Kobe and you want us to answer it, $20 man. $2? Come on, man. Gotta come fucking correct. That $2 should be topic related. You see, now we have to teach y'all how to donate right. If you're gonna donate a small amount, $1, $2, $5, that shit need to be topic related. If you want to donate shit that has nothing to do with what we talking about, you basically want to make us feel like we need to shut the fuck up. That shit need to be minimum $20 fucking dollars. And then guess what? We're gonna go right back to our fucking topic. We're gonna entertain your shit for a quick second. We'll go right back to your fucking topic. I'm teaching you motherfuckers how to donate, because when y'all go to y'all 9-to-5 jobs, guess what? Y'all don't sit here and just, if a boss is telling you this is what the agenda is, y'all don't interrupt and say, well, what do you think about this? No, when you do your interjection, your topic related, motherfucker.
Right. He's talking about the breakdown of last week's schematics, and you talk about, yeah, man, but shit, yesterday Snowfall came on, and that's my shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna say, hey man, I need to talk to you after the meeting's over. It's gonna be a one-way conversation because you don't know the difference between business and fucking pleasure. You know
exactly.
Like, exactly. Bro, give a fuck about Snowfall in this instance. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, man. And
y'all motherfuckers don't understand. I have a very, Ross has a very low patience. I have no patience for you motherfuckers. When you motherfuckers come in this bitch, y'all need to be donating, and y'all need to be donating correctly. If you're not donating correctly, Ross gonna be the one to answer your fucking question. It's like your questions don't even exist to me. You're gonna eat the fuck up what we talking about. You're gonna listen to what the fuck we talking about, and you're gonna digest what the fuck we talking about. It's just that simple for me.
The reason why I'm patient is because I know myself, and when I do go there with you, when I do go there with people, I never have an ounce of regret because I was so patient with them. I'm patient for a very reason. Because when I go there with people, it's something they never forget. Because I'm brutal. I'm horrible. Yep. I get really irate, and I get really disrespectful when I've been really patient with you.
Yep.
So I do that. So when I go there with you, I can go as far as I want with you. And not feel no type of way. And don't give a fuck how you feel about it. Because I've been so patient with you. And you gotta take it, because you know when you think about it, like, damn man, I was out of pocket. I fought with the wrong nigga. Fuck with this nigga.
Exactly.
I was out of pocket several times. He let me live, and now he on my ass. You know what I mean?
So the moral of the story is, don't let Ross get to that point. But me, I'm doing that shit out the gate because time is money, man. I ain't got time to fucking waste. You motherfuckers need to hit this shit out the gate. You gonna donate. I don't want to hear about no damn MMA. We talking some real shit. We talking some real life shit that's gonna expand your fucking mind. And you want to give us some bullshit pastime because you want to be drunk and listen to some bullshit. No, if you're gonna do that, donate minimum $20 fucking dollars.
But that goes back to the Bible said people are drunk with doctrine, and they're drunk with the NLP, um, the processing, right? They're drunk with the programming.
Yep.
The reason why you brought up that topic is because what we're talking about is too hot.
Yep.
It's too hot in that kitchen.
Yep.
So you try to go in that kitchen, you try to close the stove, but nah, man.
Yep.
The oven not getting closed, man.
Exactly.
The oven open.
You see, Ross, once again, that's what I love about Ross. Ross know how to make shit. Ross know how to have sympathy on you, motherfucker. I'm gonna say what it was. Yeah. Ross made it general. I'm gonna go into the nitty gritty. What Ross meant when he said too hot, he meant you said a dumbass comment post reloaded by Kanye. So now you felt you needed to do a quick behind the back burner super chat and bring up some other topic because you don't know how to defend yourself in this situation. No, motherfucker.
Not knowing sometimes it's not to be defended. You say some shit you didn't think. Like majority of people just be talking, don't be thinking. A nigga enlighten you. There's nothing else to say beyond that. You could, if you are a man, you could be like, you know what? Damn, I ain't think about it that way. Thanks. Thanks.
So your super chat should have been, Ross, I apologize. Or Ross, I didn't see it that way. Thank you for enlightening me. Here's $2. That's what it should have been.
That's the reason why I'm glad I went to the military, because the military get used to your peers correcting you and making sure you good. And they doing it just to make sure you good, because if you good, we all good. Because if one person out of the spot, we all got to feel it. We all got to do push-ups. Because you don't know how to wear your fucking cover right.
Yep.
You're not put on your blouse right. So we all got to do push-ups. So we make sure everybody good. And it's not a man, why you touching me? It's a thanks for fixing my collar.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know what I mean? So I'm used to being corrected by men and correcting men.
Yep.
Vice versa. But you're not. So you felt this is getting too hot. This is embarrassing. When you're learning something, you should never be. When you're learning something, you should never be embarrassed.
Yep.
You just didn't know. Majority of people still thinking Kanye West went up in there and just started talking about slaves. He wasn't even talking about that shit. They brought it up.
He was talking about a bigger picture topic.
They brought it up. And
they brought it up.
And he said his opinion on it. He said, man, after all those years, at some point it becomes a choice.
Exactly.
You can't do anything for 400 years and be forced to do it. At some point, you're giving up that you chose, this is what I'm going to be.
And you motherfuckers didn't hear that totality, full weight, full gravity, and full magnitude, because I dropped shorts on the shit. Y'all just heard what the fuck y'all wanted to hear. Because, again, when you are diametrically opposed to somebody and you look at that person in negative lenses, you're looking for any and everything to char that motherfucker under the grill. Let's just be honest.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. He did not get the benefit of the doubt. We get everybody the benefit of the doubt, except for our own people. Niggas gave Charlie Sheen the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And see, now I see you motherfuckers are starving because you're starving on Ross's channel. You're starving on mine. You especially are starving on mine. You motherfuckers got to come correct. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. I'm actually sick of you motherfuckers. I'm an OG in this bitch. Y'all gonna respect me as an OG.
Yeah.
You want my fucking videos? Donate to motherfucking motivate. Otherwise, the people that's gonna get it is gonna be the shorts, because they hooking me up. They making me look good with them subs. They know how to hit that subscription button. They know they cash at me. They say, man, thank you for covering Master P. Thank you for covering. Y'all motherfuckers want the void back, because I know I left the void. Ain't nobody gonna give you Spence the way I give you Spence. You want that level again, you better come out your pocket. You better open your motherfucking wallet. It's just that simple.
Right. And that's just the thing right there. The thing is, we give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but not all. I heard black people say, Baby Charlie Sheen didn't know he had AIDS. First of all, man, it's your job to always know your sexual status.
Yep.
If you're a highly sexual man, you should be going to get checked out, man. I get checked out.
constantly.
I get checked out every year once because the military made me do it. I get
Mm-hmm.
checked out every 6 months once because I do it.
Yeah.
I'm constantly getting checked out because you never know.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
just
your
never know.
job. And it's your job if you transmit something to somebody else. It's your fault regardless. But we have so much compassion, so much understanding for white men and white folks. When a white person kills 80 motherfuckers, we be like, oh, that motherfucker was crazy, man. He need to be in a crazy hospital. We don't have that type of compassion for black niggas, man. Black niggas we be like, man, at the end of the day, that's just how it go, man. Niggas get killed. Niggas get killed. You need to go to jail. Niggas get killed, man. It's ignorant shit when it comes to us.
Yep.
But any other race, niggas want to find out exactly what happened. Let's not rush to say nothing. Hey, man, I can't say nothing, so I see the whole interview, man. We talking about Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Ain't no way she did that. I got to see the whole interview.
And that shit happens on YouTube. A lot of you motherfuckers see a lot of YouTube quote unquote chung channels. They see one comment or someone says and they run a drop video. I don't do shit like that. I want to go hear everything the motherfucker had to say so that I can make sure when I do my commentary, it's on point and it's in line with what was said overall from my assessment. I'm not gonna go off of one saying and then get the whole shit wrong. Y'all, man, you know the way the way you coming at it. You know, I ain't gonna, man. I'm riled up, man. I can't believe he said that, or and y'all not doing y'all research. You supposed to go and listen to the main person. Fuck what everybody else got to say. Go listen to the main shit the motherfucker said, and then once you've done that, now see what everybody else's viewpoints are. And now you can weed out through everyone's viewpoint. Okay, this motherfucker is on point, but he said it in his own way. Okay, this motherfucker's bullshitting. Or this motherfucker is telling me Earl Spence is a WBC and IBF welterweight champion. Who gives a fuck? Don't I already fucking know that? Why I need introduction? Y'all motherfuckers, man. Y'all need to be better as subscribers and better as commentators, man. Y'all need to graduate y'all state.
What they do is
I'm at that point with y'all motherfuckers. Y'all not graduating y'all mental
what
state.
they do is this is what they do. You donate to a motherfucker because he say what you want to hear, and when he don't say what you want to hear, instead of you saying, "Hey, I believe this," and you challenging them, you just go to a channel who opposes the person, and you talk shit about the person on that channel.
Exactly.
Like, bro, stand up and grab your balls and be like, "Hey, man, I don't agree with that. I fuck with your channel. Don't get it twisted, but I don't agree with this."
Because people don't want to be blacklisted. They don't want to be outed. It's a fear. People are afraid. They don't want to be the one that's like, man, they had to get checked by the channel person.
Yeah, but that's the channel. That's the problem. Why does it have to be a conflict because you disagree with somebody?
Exactly.
Why does it have to be a conflict? Why can't it be like, oh man, well I say that because of this and this and this?
Mm-hmm.
If you disagree with them with respect, like with all due respect, I disagree. This is why. There should be no disrespect back. Like, oh well, I said this because of this. Yeah. Okay, cool. You go your separate ways. But some people y'all don't know how to disrespect. Y'all know how to disrespect. I say you dumb as fuck for thinking that.
Exactly.
Okay, bro. So now I gotta be on your head for being disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know how to disagree without being disrespectful.
There you go.
We have to get used to, as a community, get used to the fact, the concept that we're not going to agree on everything, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody at a different level of understanding.
Exactly.
Some people are so fucking wrong that they won't know that till they turn 40 years old.
Yep.
But all the shit they was wrong about when they was 30.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They so fucking wrong. They think they're right, but they're so wrong because they have a limited understanding of how the world works.
Exactly.
Me personally, listen, I love my family to death. I don't really talk to them about politics and about religion because at their level of understanding, they're masters. They're masters.
And the thing is, it's gonna give you a headache trying to have the same conversation about something that they're gonna be bullheaded and they're gonna think the way that they're gonna think about the situation. 3 topics you don't have with family members, especially when you know they stick to their guns. You don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics, and you don't talk about money.
You don't talk
Because
about
if that motherfucker is a money spender and they waste money, good luck trying to convince them otherwise. They gonna keep doing it.
right, or they just stringent and they don't enjoy their life at all. And
Exactly.
you stop to get a soda. You ain't had no Pepsi in a minute. They be like,
Yep.
man, we had Kool-Aid at the crib. You could have just,
Yep.
I don't want no fucking Kool-Aid, man.
Yep.
I want a fucking Pepsi,
Yep.
motherfucker. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
But they don't understand that language. To them, that's too much money being spent. That's the way they see things.
They die with all this money and they ain't enjoy.
Exactly. So while they doing that, the moral of the story is do fucking you.
Right. It's a balance, man. And we have to. That's the only way we're gonna get to the next level if we realize we're not gonna agree on everything.
Mm-hmm.
People are different. They're on different levels of understanding. And if you care so much to communicate to them, then you have to, as the person with the higher understanding, you have to be like Paul said, all things to all men. You have to talk to them. You have to talk to them in their language.
When I was with the wise, I spoke as if I was wise. When I was with the deaf, I spoke as if I was deaf.
The reason I communicate certain ways with certain people, is patience, and is also I believe I'm effective in knowing who I'm talking to.
Yep.
And I will attempt to communicate on your level so I find out that you really have no desire to understand.
Exactly.
And you're being a disruptor.
And when I spoke to the non-donate, I spoke as if I non-donated.
Right. If you're being a disruptor, then I'm gonna deal really harshly with you, man.
Yep.
Because you are a grown man being a class clown.
Exactly.
But I'm not governed by the Board of Education.
No.
I'm governed by the board of Tomross TV.
Exactly. And I'm governed by the fact that I'm not your therapist. So if you want to come in and tell me about your baby mama, I'm not gonna be the one you're gonna have that conversation with. Go have that fucking conversation with your therapist. If you have a system with the VA has therapists, man. They have medical professionals that can help you with that bullshit. Then you can go and talk to them and break it down, and you start saying, man, I beat my baby mama up and I slap her, and you know, I'm wondering why the kids getting taken away from me. Go talk to their ass about that shit. I don't need to hear that bullshit.
He knows you really going in on domestic violence.
I have to, because there's a lot of motherfuckers out here, especially black men, calling themselves men, and they're not really fucking men. They're giving you a similitude that they're men and lack the fullness thereof, thinking it's okay to say proudly, I put my hands on women, and especially black women. That shit unnerves me to a level to where I can't even explain that shit. And they say it like it's casual talk. Dude, something is wrong with you.
I think
that is not right to do that. And not on any fucking level it's right.
The black community is in desperate need of therapy, of licensed professionals, because a lot of men, well, it's wrong to feel that way. They harbor a lot of resentment toward their mothers, because a lot of these men had very abusive mothers, man. Very abusive mothers. And they don't do like me. I just fucked the hell out of girls that had a lot of girls and blah, and just, you know what I mean? That was my way of just of getting that out of my system. And then learning slowly but surely, a lot of women went through that shit too, and they got resentments. And a lot of times, the person who a girl I think is a hoe, she's acting out her resentments the same way I'm acting out mine.
No, but thank you for your candor. Thank you for your honesty in saying that.
Yeah, but it's socially accepted for me to be a hoe, not socially accepted for her to be a hoe.
Exactly.
And because she is hoeing around like I'm hoeing around, niggas feel like, well, she a hoe, so she's worthless. I can just kick her in her fucking head. Yeah. But she's still a human being.
The weakest fucking thing you can be.
Yeah.
You're not a man when you do that. When you put your hands on a woman, you are not a man. You're not even a child. You're not even a speck of shit. You are horse fucking manure. Because who fucking does that?
The weakest.
There's no such thing as, well, I had the problems with my mom. I had problems, when I was young. No, nobody trying to hear that shit. You grown. You should fucking know better, especially if you're trying to raise your kid a certain way and you're trying to tell your kid this is what you can and can't do. One of the things you should be telling them, you should never put your hands on a woman. It's never right to do that. That's the weakest fucking thing you can do as a man. Put your hand on a woman. That tells you that you don't have the mental capacity. You don't have the mental wherewithal, and you don't have the mental mindset to have dialogue, conversation with the woman. And these are the same motherfuckers that's telling you that Kanye West should raise their kids a certain way. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Right. A rational thing in person, I agree with what you're saying to an extent. It, outside of the law, just moral law. We're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster, we hit harder. In the case of myself, I hit hard enough to break bones on people. It's never okay. On the flip side of that, it's not okay for women to hit men either.
I agree with that too.
And on the flip side of that, a woman constantly hitting a man could cause a man to hit her.
But see, what you talking about is special circumstances.
Yeah.
That's different.
Look, I'm still not making an excuse for it. I'm telling you how things can happen. And psychologically, people who went through abuse aren't rational thinkers.
Yeah.
So a rational, logical man, there's no excuse for you.
In those instances, you are 1,000% correct. I'm talking about strictly
people need therapy.
I'm talking strictly a man fashioning in his brain that it is okay to go whoop upside a woman's head. Yeah. Or basically have casual conversation and say, oh yeah, man, I'll beat her fucking ass. I'll punch her in the fucking nose. I'll punch her in the stomach. I mean, how does that even sound normal?
Motherfuckers need therapy, man.
Thank you.
You got to think about it.
And I'm not your fucking therapist.
Because you got to think about this. You got some motherfuckers, they don't care who it is. They'll just fight. They'll just fight any woman, anybody. They'll just beat the shit out of any woman. But you got some motherfuckers that only do that to black women. When they're with a woman of other races, they ain't abusive.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they know how to conflict resolute.
Yep.
They know how to say, you know what, I ain't dealing with this bitch no more. Let me get my shit, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
But when they with their sisters, and a lot of women be out of pocket, and y'all do need to know y'all fucking place. And y'all need to stop getting aggressive with men, but I still don't give a man the right to stomp you in the ground, man.
Exactly.
I still don't give a man the right to hit you like you're a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? On both sides of the playing field, we have to start treating each other like human beings, man. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with talking to people how you want to be talked to. Something they taught you in kindergarten could go a long way if people actually applied it.
Hey, hold on, man. Let me get this DoorDash while you talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we piercing these motherfuckers though. Keep piercing their ass.
Right. They could go. It could go a long way if people actually applied it. Doing to others as you had to do unto you is it sounds simple, but it's not simple to everybody. And I think that ties into my overall point. My overall point of all this shit is when we're in our time of need or we're in our time of being misunderstood, we all want the benefit of the doubt. But do we give it? People, it's like we in a community, we think because someone is famous that we reserve the right to say whatever the fuck we want to say about them, as if they're not human beings. But Cardi B just proved that wrong. Cardi B just sued a YouTuber for damn near $3 million, $4 million for lying on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to respect these people, man. Yeah, me personally, when it comes to the music, I do think they make thought music. I think Cardi B makes thought music. I think Megan Thee Stallion makes thought music. Most of these women make thought music nowadays. But as a person, I'm not gonna disrespect them on a personal level. I don't know shit about Cardi B as a woman. I don't know shit about her being a mother, so I don't speak on that. I don't know shit about her being a wife, so I don't speak on it. But as an artist, I feel she could do better. I feel like there's a lot more to rap about besides sucking dick and being fucked and counting money. There's a lot more. And I know she knows this because when she's just talking regular, she talk about shit like politics and how fucked up shit is. She just don't rap about it. But some of those things need to be topics in her songs, if you ask me.
Yeah, Nicki and Cardi B. This is the funny part about it. They sit here and talk shit, but they got men. They got men that they submit to. They know how to keep a man. So
Yeah.
clearly, to them, this is just a music thing. They're not stupid enough to know that this is past entertainment.
And what they do is they plan.
These consumers make this shit reality and say, yeah, you should beat a nigga. You should tie a nigga up or whatever. Are they really doing that in their real life?
Their music is made around the vulnerabilities and insecurities of women of color.
Whoosh.
Even if they don't go through that shit no more, it's made around it. And why you think these women, you can look at a Cardi B, you can look at a woman and tell she a Cardi B fan by the way she dressed and the way she looks. You can look at a Nicki Minaj fan and tell this is a Nicki Minaj fan or a Megan Thee Stallion fan because they start becoming these women.
Yep.
And they start saying,
perpetuating that behavior.
They start saying and acting like them, but they don't have the cachet, they don't have the money, and they don't have the foundation. At the end of the day, Cardi B has a family. She got a husband with several children.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have her foundation, but you're acting in the character of her and not knowing that's not even her, really. They create that character to monopolize your vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B say all that shit about she don't submit to nobody. She submit to Offset. Offset be like, hey man, hey, go ahead and cut that shit off. She cut off her IG. When no little babies running around, she see her kids running around, man. She stopped doing that area shit when they in the room. Cause she know he gonna say something. Like, yo, why the fuck you doing that with the kid in here?
Mm-hmm.
It's their fans who actually believe the lyrics of the music of I don't cook, I don't clean. Man, that bitch Dominican and Puerto Rican and Trinidadian. She cook and she clean.
Yep.
That's all the fuck she knows. And if she's not doing it because she's busy making an album, you best believe she got a nanny doing that shit. Or she got a cook.
Exactly.
That shit getting done. And it ain't Offset in there doing it.
Nope.
So trust and believe. The thing about it is, the Bible describes us clearly. That's how you know read the people of the book. We have itching ears, bro. And we let our loyalty be connected to what we want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I never had that, man. I don't even trust people who compliment me way too much. I think there's something up they fucking sleeve. So me personally, I can never be swept away the way the majority of black people swept away. Because if you compliment black people, they become mush. You know how many ignorant niggas be so geek because a white bitch want to fuck and be like, oh, I know you got a big dick. Like, bro, the fact that she just walked up to you, don't know you, and talking about your genitalia as if that's all there is to you is a disrespect.
Yep.
It's a disrespect. And for you to be for you to fuck her is one thing. You're a human being and you could be a savage, you want to get a nut off, that's one thing. For you to feel like that's something to be admired for, and she's saying some shit because she's talking about your genitalia, she just met you, she's disrespecting you. Because she wouldn't do that to a white man.
Nope.
She's disrespecting you. And when she said when she says some shit like you better know how to fuck because you black, she's disrespecting you. You're a whole human being, man. That's a lot more complicated than just being able to know how to have sex. And what if you didn't? What if you didn't lose your virginity until you was 28 years old? Are you less than a human being now? Because you're not an expert in having sex? we got to get out of this mindset of people need to be complimenting us and patting us on our back. Because the people
Yep.
who have been complimenting us and rubbing our back have been the same ones fucking us over.
Mm-hmm.
Get used to the harsh criticism, the harsh truth.
Yep.
Get used to watching that show that piss you off, but you know you need to watch it because it's the truth.
Yep.
Get used to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the mindset of you always got to be entertained.
So how many episodes do I have to look forward to? Because you're the one that put me on Snowfall. I know about Snowfall through you. How many episodes do I gotta look forward to when I start watching it?
It's 5 seasons now, and it's typically 10
Woo.
seasons. It's typically 10 seasons of episodes. So you're looking at 40, 42 episodes right now just to catch up.
Damn. Woo. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that shit.
Yeah. Just to catch up. But the thing about it is this. We have as a people, we kind of have a childlike mentality, and children love being complimented. Everyone likes a compliment, but children love being complimented.
Yeah.
And they love gifts. This how pedophiles get children away from their family, telling them everything they want to hear and promising them gifts.
Mm-hmm.
They get them out the house. We were caught away with pretty much the Democrat community has been bribing us with empty compliments and empty tokens, gifts. They have not made no laws for us that benefit us at all.
Yep.
So there's no reason why black people are voting Democrat as a monolith. It makes no sense. If you're a voting person, you say you care so much about voting, your voting should be offsetting depending on who says what and who's willing to do what. It should never be all Democrat or all Republican.
Yep.
Because they all don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
There's some Republicans that are just way too over the fucking top, but they ain't trying to do nothing for black people.
Yep.
There's some Democrats who say all the nice things, but they ain't trying to do nothing for Democrats.
They ain't trying to do
They
shit.
ain't trying to do nothing for black people. You have to look before you vote. Learn how to cut your feelings off and say, I don't give a fuck how I feel about this person. What is this person actually known for? Because that's what they're gonna do.
Nah, this is how people vote. You know how when they hit that they get ready to go to the ballot, they have those outsiders that influence their mind on how they should vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the outsiders tell them, here's a card. Vote all these people. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Vote all these people. They're on the Democratic side. And because a lot of people don't educate themselves or they don't study, they take that card and they go with that.
Right.
A lot of people are voting that way. I'm sorry to tell you, but a lot of people are voting that way.
If you're in a city where there's a lack of jobs, then you need to vote Republican. Republican don't get the jobs back to the city. Democrats push the jobs out to different countries. Republicans bring the jobs in. If you are in a city where they're trying to stifle your vote, then you might want to look at Democrat, depending on what the Democrat trying to do. It's all thing. If you are against abortion, then you want to vote Republican. The Republicans are against abortion. Because you vote Republican, I mean you agree with everything they fucking say or do.
Exactly.
You voted for them because this thing you agree with, and this thing gonna help your community. The thing is, we see each other as individuals. We don't look at other black people and say that's my brother or this is a community. Niggas go in there and actually vote for themselves.
Yep.
They vote for themselves. Oh, I like this motherfucker. Shit. If I vote for him, this gonna give me a pay. They don't even think about their whole community. Like, bro, this decision you making, it's gonna affect communities. The decision black people made to vote Bill Clinton in is affecting us right now.
Yep.
Because the 1994 crime bill. Niggas barely getting home now from some shit Clinton did in 1994.
Yep.
That's why it's important to vote correctly if you're gonna vote.
Yep. And here's the thing: voting is all on how smart you can be with your area. You gotta know your fucking area, and you gotta know your area's needs. And if your area's needs,
I'm gonna be right back.
nah, you good. If your area's need have a disproportion, or your area need has a weakness, then you need to address the weaknesses that's in the area. You don't need to sit there and vote based on because you like somebody or you don't like somebody. That's nonsense. Voting doesn't work that way. And people don't take the time out to research the candidates that they're voting for. They don't take the time out to ask themselves the fundamental question: is that candidate worth those 4 years that I'm going to give them? Are they worth the 5 years that I'm going to give them? No candidate is perfect. They are going to engage in some form of corruption. But you need to understand, and when you vote, you voting for the person that's going to be in your best interest while they are engaging in their corruption. Their corruption is going to happen regardless. But are they engaging in your best interest while they're being corrupt? And if you could meet both at the same time, then you're good to go. Because there's not a politician that's going to come into office and not already have their preconceived notions on how they're going to move and how they're going to push their own agendas. That stuff is already set in stone. That's already been etched in stone. All of this taboo stuff that they tell you stuff just to get votes, that's cockamamie nonsense. They already know what they're going to do once they get in. But what you have to examine is when that person does that, are they doing it also with pushing what you want them to push? That's the key. You should vote that way. And then there's other topics where you're voting where it has nothing to do with Republican, it has nothing to do with Democrat. It just has to do with topics that are beneficial to you or they're not beneficial to you, like weed smoking. You know, do you want weed smoking to be legalized in your area? Shit like that. Or, you know, how do you feel about them innovating this new piping system? You need to research yourself. A lot of times you can go on these polls website and see the types of things that they're going to ask on the actual ballot before the ballot actually comes out. That gives you time to research these types of ballot questions that they're asking. Who you want to vote for? Do you agree with this policy? Yay or nay? If you have that information prior and you've been able to take the time out to do your research and do your due diligence, when you get to the ballot and you get to the poll, you can vote knowing that you actually took your time out to vote the right way instead of you just saying, I'm going to pick this person because, you know, my aunt said to pick this person. That's the laziest thing. That's the worst thing you can do. You might as well have not voted if you did something like that. That you just picking people because other people told you to pick them. Because if that person ends up passing based off so many of those lack of due diligent votes, then when that person goes in there and they create the corruption that they create the dissension that they create, you should blame yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself because you perpetuated in that, you assisted in that, you helped in that, you pushed that. So you got to look at it like that. Voting is all about being smart. And like Ross said, knowing what side to vote for when you actually vote for that side. Don't just pick and choose who you picking and choosing because you just want to pick and choose that person. Or here's the other one. This person looks a certain way. So because they look a certain way or they command the office a certain way, I'm going to pick them. That's nonsense. You don't do that. But after voting for a second and bringing it back to the topic at hand, because I feel like that's important. The biggest thing that people got to understand is when you're dealing with someone like Kanye West deals with the drama that he deals with because he's just a person who's trying to be who he wants to be. He's being unapologetic. And you have to understand the plight of being an unapologetic person. There's always going to be a stigma of polarization that's going to follow you when you are unapologetic. Unapologetic just simply means that you will not have a leash on your mouth. That's what it simply means.
Mm-hmm.
It simply means that you will not be controlled. It simply means that you will not be that person that people are going to maneuver however they feel they should maneuver. And because you are that type of individual, and because you cannot be controlled, you are then looked at as a pariah. And when you're looked at as a pariah, you become public enemy number one. We see this in all modes of entertainment. They love LeBron, right? They hate Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
They love Terrence Crawford. They apologize for his ass every way. He could do no wrong. But they hate Earl Spence. They love Manny Pacquiao, right? They love Canelo Alvarez, but they hate Floyd Mayweather. In every aspect of sports, you're always going to find this type of love and hate situation. And the reason why they're going to hate the person that they hate is because one common denominator is these people don't know how to keep their mouths shut.
They're outspoken.
They always speak against injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Once Michael Jordan had the 2009 Hall of Fame speech, he has entered into the realm of unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, they started now questioning, is the Michael Jordan way of playing basketball, is it the right way to play? They never questioned that shit before.
Never. If anything, they would say everybody needs to be like Michael Jordan.
Yep.
They had out of it was Gatorade. Gatorade had a commercial saying, I want to be like Mike, like
There you
Mike.
go.
If I could be like, so they wanted everybody to be like Mike when they was making money off of him.
Yep.
But now that he became a billionaire, he's not playing basketball no more, and his ventures are more behind the table. It's not you taking advantage of his image, of his athletic prowess. Now all of a sudden, is being like Mike the way? And then, and you know what? I think they planned to do that from the beginning because they started tearing down Michael by attacking Kobe.
Yep.
Because at that point they couldn't say what they wanted to say to Michael. They had to say to Kobe. Because
they always attack Michael. It actually started even before then. It started with the dad.
Mm-hmm.
When his father passed away, they were like, oh, we got the perfect opportunity to say, is it because of his gambling situation? Is it because of, the situation that he was in? And I think that was the beginning of when Michael Jordan started looking at the media like, okay, these people are dangerous.
Yeah.
These people are cancerous.
These people are
you know what he did? You know what he did to punish them?
He started doing all the interviews and shit.
Oh, y'all don't understand my value? Okay. How about I retire for 2.5 years?
What?
He goes and retire. They lose. You have to understand how much money the media lost when Jordan retired for those 2 years. And they had to put all the coverage on baseball, a team in baseball in a minor league that you normally wouldn't put coverage on. Media would never put no coverage on that. They had to shift their focus to that because they knew they were losing money. The NBA knew they were losing money. Jordan knew he had them by the fucking balls.
Mm-hmm.
He knew it. And here's the funny thing about it. We watched this year's All-Star game. They could be mad at Jordan all they want. They still got to eat his shit. The All-Star game was so boring as fuck.
Everything about the NBA boring. In the LeBron James era, the NBA is very boring.
But who shows up in the 75 team and then that's what becomes the talk.
Yeah.
Jordan shows up, the shit becomes so fun. He's talking shit to Magic Johnson. Hey man, why don't you go lace up? Why don't you go put on a pair of shorts, man? I'll take your ass one on one right now. He brings back all of this shit, and it's fun again. You see LeBron James, who's supposed to be LeBron James, when Michael Jordan shows up, LeBron looks like a fan.
Exactly. The
But he's
reason
the
why,
GOAT, right?
the reason why Jordan showing up was so powerful is because Kobe's gone.
Yep.
Kobe kept that he kept that level of competitiveness there. It's
Yep.
like it's like I'm gonna say this, and I don't want people to take this as a slight because KD is my guy. KD is a killer on the court, and he
Yeah.
competes on the court, but he
Yeah.
don't have that air of the Mamba.
No, he don't.
When he's in Mamba mode, basketball mode, it ain't just the what happens on the court. It's everything.
Yep.
Until I leave this arena, then everything's a competition. Even with the fucking even with the newscasters, even with the journalists. If they say something out the way, they get it too. Until I get safely in my crib, I'm in Mamba mode. Straight up. That brought an air to the All-Star games because when Kobe was around and when Jordan played and when niggas like Isaiah Thomas played, these niggas all were playing for the MVP and nobody was trying to be cool. They were all balling.
Yep.
It wasn't he only won it because I don't really care about that. It's just an All-Star MVP. It don't matter.
Yep.
That type of thing came with LeBron era of niggas making excuses for why Kobe winning all the time and not the same. Kobe's just better than us. That's why he winning all the time.
Yep.
The best player back in the day that won the All-Star MVP, a lot of times was winning the real MVP or they was a champion that year.
Yep.
That's how that shit, or they went to the finals that year. Typically, niggas who won the All-Star MVP did one of three things. That's either the MVP that year as well, or they were probably the finals MVP, or they went to the finals. That's what that shit meant. It meant you were the best player in the league when you won the All-Star MVP.
Yep.
But under LeBron's era, it became just another trophy. And they changed the game.
If Kobe was still alive, Jordan would be able to stay behind the scenes more, like he's been doing. Because if you look at the All-Star game, the All-Star game would have been named after Kobe, still, in him being alive because he would have had the most All-Star games. Kobe would have been like the figurehead guy that the NBA can go to. Because you started seeing that because he on ESPN, he had the detail, he had all of that, and Kobe didn't mind doing all that because Kobe just one thing about Kobe, he loved to talk when it made sense for him. So Kobe would have easily done that, and he's articulate, he can speak. So Kobe would have easily done that. Jordan would have just stayed behind the scenes like he always do and chill. But Kobe passing away, Jordan had to become more of a figurehead. And he's kind of been pushed out more in the forefront. Because Jordan stayed true to his word. He said when he left basketball, he hated the whole public, ambiance of people wanting to check him out and constantly dealing with fans and all that shit. He wanted to be behind the scenes, and he stayed true to that shit. His ass was staying behind the scenes.
But low key, I don't think he ever liked it, all the attention. I don't think he ever liked it. I don't think he ever got used to it. He never did like it. He dealt with it, but he never liked it. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman liked the attention way more than Jordan did.
Yep.
Dennis Rodman, he courted it. If Jordan courted attention, then how big he could have been is ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous when I think about how big Jordan would have been if he would actually went out his way to court attention.
If Jordan courted attention the way LeBron courted attention, Jordan, we would be talking about Jordan probably the biggest figure ever. All entertainment, all fucking entertainment.
Right. He was just big just off his play. Yep. Imagine if he courted attention. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It really
And the
is.
funny part about it is LeBron courts attention, and he's nowhere near, not even Kobe stature. That's crazy.
But because he don't have the uncourt memories. All LeBron big memories that actually mean something.
Mm-hmm. I'm
He's
here. I'm still here.
he's a supporting cast role. He's not the guy hitting the big shot. In the majority of his big time memories, he's playing a supporting cast role. He's
Mm-hmm.
not playing. He's not playing the best male actor.
Yep.
He's not playing the big role. He's supporting cast.
Yep.
He's passing the ball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sports, the world is a stage, man. And if all
Yep.
your big moments is tied to other people's biggest moments, and you don't have that moment that's you alone,
Yep.
like people say, Game Seven was horrible. It ruined Kobe's legacy. Game Seven made Kobe into a fucking all time legend. Because most people having a game like that, they fold. I
What
remember
idiot? What idiot said Game Seven ruined his legacy?
many niggas was saying that shit back in the day. Many niggas on my ship. A couple of writers were saying that shit. But to me, it was the best moment because it reminded me. Of the closeout game against the Phoenix Suns. Michael Jordan.
Did they see the 15? Did they see the 15 rebounds and the 12 assists?
Nope. All they was talking about was he didn't shoot 50%. Majority of two guards that ever played the game average 50% field goal percentage. That's
So hold up. I thought basketball was the LeBron way to play. I thought points didn't matter. So why are they talking 50%? See, these people don't know what the fuck they want.
now think about this. It changed depending on if they like you or not. When they like you or not. And see, and the way the media covered Kobe, they covered him in a way to where everybody couldn't like him. Because they made it seem as if he was taking something away from inner city kids who didn't have fathers. Niggas be like, man, Kobe got a father. He got a mother. He got a family. Why he want to go to the league? That's what they was pushing to the inner city. And the only nigga that should want to go to the league is the niggas who have to go. Because they can't do nothing else. And the NBA knew exactly who they were selling the league to.
Hmm.
Exactly who they were selling the league to.
So they were selling the league to LeBron.
They were selling the league to guys like LeBron, single mother parents, struggling, guys who don't have father guidance, guys who they can manipulate the majority of their career.
Mm.
What they didn't count on was LeBron just as manipulative as they are, and as they was using him, he was using them.
Yep.
That's what they didn't count on. But majority of guys like LeBron get ate up in the system. Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, they didn't account for the fact that LeBron was gonna bring in this four-headed monster of friends
Right.
that were all gonna profit off of him.
They didn't think that.
They thought they were just gonna Nike and NBA thought they were just gonna make a killing off of this Negro slave.
Yep.
So I'll give them that.
Business wise, this is why I do this LeBron all day. Business wise, high salute. I'm talking about I jump up, salute nigga business wise.
Yep.
Just on the court, not so much. It is not got nothing to do with him. He just overblown.
Yep.
He just overblown.
Yeah, on the court, he's just like you said, he's just what he is on the court. But you cannot deny what LeBron James means outside of the game of basketball. If we're having a conversation outside of the game of basketball, and we're having a conversation of what he's done for his friends, I won't even take it civil rights or whatever. I'm just talking about like what he's done for his friends, helping his friends, pushing their agendas, getting them to become financially independent and securing their futures. That's a rare quality, man.
It is.
Most people don't do that, let alone black people. So
You don't do
for
that.
one another, black men doing that for one another. So that's a commendable thing, a very commendable thing to do. So if we're going to give him a commendation award like they do for the military for anything, I'm sure Air Force has their version of it, but we have the Army Commendation Medal. So if we're going to give him a commendation medal, it's going to be how to be a friend and how to help your friends elevate when you elevate. I don't think no one. That's one thing Jordan can't say it, Kobe can't say it, nobody can say that they did that shit like LeBron James. That's one thing that he could say he did himself that he can get all the credit for.
I think the only nigga that can say that, and they can't even say that because Pete elevated his family and made friends along the way. He ain't elevated just his friends, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Granted, to some people, friends is their family, but just to be technical, those are his little brothers. Those are his brothers.
Yeah.
That he elevated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Floyd can say it if you're talking boxing. Floyd, if you're talking another sport, Floyd the only person that I can say who can say it is Floyd, because Floyd did it at a higher level than he did it at a higher level than LeBron.
Floyd, Kanye, and Jay.
Yeah.
Jay-Z got a lot of his friends around him still. Kanye,
Tata, Emery.
Yeah, Kanye got a lot of his friends around him still. You know what I'm saying?
But Jay-Z love him some Tata, boy. He'll rap Tata in every rhyme, though.
Memphis Bleak was a young nigga that he used to look out for.
And the funny thing about it is Jay-Z, to a certain degree, still looks out for Memphis Bleak.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, he still looks out for him.
They did. People don't really. Memphis Bleak, he told a story. He said he almost got. He said I almost got cut off by Jay. Yeah. He said he was holed up, fucking with this girl all day. Jay-Z was calling him. He didn't answer the call. Jay-Z found him and was like, bro, I'm calling you trying to get you to the studio.
Yep.
And you sitting up here like, bro, I don't need you, man. You need me, nigga.
Yep.
Be like, bro, if I call you to come to the studio, you supposed to be dropping everything to get to the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to change.
Memphis Bleak is that dude that should have been left behind. But Jay had, if there was anybody Jay had mercy and grace for, it was him.
Yeah.
He was the dude that Jay had mercy and grace for.
He's the youngest one. But when you're young, you do stupid shit. Memphis Bleak was a young ass man. And during that time, during that shit, during the Kanye shit, Memphis Bleak was young, man.
But you gotta understand. Understand. Chris and Neef, Beanie Siegel, all these motherfuckers was young too. Just because Benny Siegel got a grown looking fucking face, that don't mean the nigga wasn't young.
Right, they were all young, and you see the type of dumb shit they were doing.
Exactly.
They were all young. You know what I mean?
But Benny Siegel and them was in their feelings about certain things, whereas Miff stayed loyal, and Miff knew when Jay was like, "Yo, we cutting off from Dame," Miff was vocal enough to tell. That's why I said Dame Dash can't say he didn't know it was going to happen, because Memphis Bleak warned him. Memphis Bleak went in there. Memphis Bleak's that type of soldier that warn you, but you choose to still ignore because you don't think it's going to happen. Right. He now was like, "Yo, my nigga, I can already see the way he talk. My nigga, if you don't tighten this what the fuck He's that type of dude. You know, we all got somebody like that in our crew, right? Yeah. That's him. And they didn't listen to him. They didn't take him seriously. So when it happened, so many years later, I saw him do an interview like 6 months ago. He was like, "Man, I went in the room." He said, "That nigga Dame Dash is hard-headed, man. I told that nigga, I looked at him dead in his face, said, my nigga." And I could see Memphis Bleak doing that. If you don't this is what's going and he didn't listen. He chose not to listen. So what was I supposed to do? Not go with my meal ticket?
Right. The problem is with a lot of New York niggas, not just Dame Dash, they have a hard time separating who they met you as from who you becoming.
Yep.
A lot of it's like
that's not just. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not just a New York thing. That's a people.
I'm saying New York because they from New York.
Yeah.
And I see that. I see that prevalent in them. Like, to me, the only thing that's similar between me, a Chicago nigga, and a New York nigga, is we both know how to live in a city. We understand the concrete jungle very well, more than most people. But y'all
understand the streets. Y'all understand the streets.
Right. Right, but the way we rationalize things is totally different.
Yeah. Because
New York,
one thing that I could say, if I could draw a simile between y'all both grimy when it
right?
comes to the streets. Because when you live in a rough projects or you live in a rough neighborhood, you got to be grimy.
You have to know how to think fast and think quickly and
Yep.
adapt. But the difference between the New York nigga and Chicago nigga is New York niggas always overestimate themselves and they always underestimate people.
Yep.
And Chicago people, the niggas who really live in the streets,
And you show
we don't,
everybody the same level of respect because at any given moment, a motherfucker take your ass down.
and we don't underestimate nobody.
Yep.
We don't underestimate nobody, man. And that way, because we don't underestimate you, we kind of see the we kind of even the most fucked up person in Chicago, you'll be surprised at how many people come to their funerals because how many people they touched. Because it's like we could instantly see how far somebody could go, and
Mm-hmm.
the things they need to do to get there. We're not necessarily telling them where they have to stay.
Yep.
We're telling them this is where you can go, but this is where you will end up being if we don't make these adjustments. That's a whole
Yep.
different conversation of saying, man, just make the beats. Just make the beats, depending on who you're talking to. You know what I mean? Could fuck up a whole business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Or just go in there and shine my shoes. Just go in there and make me a sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all depends on who you're talking to. That could sour a lot of shit. Vice man, hey man, I understand this is what you want to do, and I'm behind you, but right now we just need to see a little bit more from you.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation would go a long way. Because now what you had was you possibly could have lost Kanye if Capital was smart. Capital
Yep.
was stupid.
Yep.
They didn't listen to the A&Rs, gave y'all a second chance, and y'all got Kanye. Kanye was he was gonna be great no matter where the fuck he went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all second chance, y'all able to keep him. And that prolonged the Rockefeller breaking up. That prolonged them breaking up a little longer. If
Mm-hmm.
they fuck up on that, I could see Jay-Z leaving them. Because Jay-Z just wanted him to prove he could rap.
Yeah.
Jay-Z wasn't hard pressed on not signing him.
Yeah.
He was giving him a hard time because nobody gave him an easy time. That's
Yep.
what you're supposed to do in Jay-Z mind. But he wasn't hard pressed against signing. It was Dame Dash that was hard pressed.
Yep.
If they don't sign him, and they Jay-Z about his coins, man. If they lose out on all that fucking money, the Jay-Z sent back saying these niggas make all this money with Kanye West, he would have left
Mm-hmm.
Dame Dash ass quick, man. He'd be like,
Yep.
y'all motherfuckers fuck it up, bro.
Yep.
Y'all fuck it up. Y'all let all my beats go. Y'all put 3 more classics.
Yep.
Cause y'all ain't want to sign this nigga.
Yep.
Jay-Z would have left so fucking fast.
No, he would have. And here's the thing. The thing that's why I haven't done the shorts yet, but I can't wait till I start doing these damn shorts. Cause I'm a fried damn Dash, y'all. I don't like the shit this motherfucker been doing with Shannon Sharp. That shit pissing me off. Because you gotta understand.
That interview is so much bigger than Jay though. He said a lot of good shit in that interview.
He did say a lot of good shit. But this nigga got a personal vendetta, though. And he got to understand the reason why he got the personal vendetta against Jay is because he was short-sighted. You got to know how to admit your faults.
Right.
All of the success you see Jay-Z got now, you would have had it too.
Yeah.
You just needed to shift the role. Now you didn't need to be the front man anymore. You needed to be the backdoor man. And he wasn't willing to make that adjustment. And that's what cost him.
I could agree. I could definitely agree.
Because that's how it was with Shaq and Kobe. Shaq's game was so rescinding so bad because Shaq didn't keep himself in shape. And he was so bad out of shape that his game was losing itself so fast and exponentially. Kobe was ascending exponentially. So it only made sense if the shift is happening, that paradigm shift is happening to that level, that Kobe has to take complete and full reign. You just need to be the number 2 all the way through. And see, this is the problem with a lot of motherfuckers. They don't know when the shift is happening, how to adjust with the shift.
They don't.
Because there's moments when you're the one driving the ship, and there's moments when you're the one being the passenger. Like in YouTube, I was a driver for a very long time. Now, guess what? I'm the fucking passenger. I love my passenger seat. I don't fucking mind it, though. I tell any and every motherfucker that shit. See, people don't understand. I value every role I'm in.
Right.
Ross is the driver right now. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm loving this fucking passenger seat.
Right.
This is probably the greatest fucking passenger seat view I've ever had in my life.
Because you finally get a chance to rest.
Yes.
And then you could chime in. If I run into some trouble, you could chime in and get 30 boards, 20 putbacks, and 8 blocks.
Yeah, I ain't
And
fucking
then,
damn dash, man.
no. And with less the headache.
Exactly.
So now you're not required to drop 20 videos where you speaking down to 3 hours worth of talk in a day.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Because if you add all those videos up, you're speaking damn near an hour, 2 hours straight on videos.
Exactly. For motherfuckers that don't donate. And that's the trippy part about it. That's why these motherfuckers ran like cockroaches when we start having those serious conversations. Because every time they come up in this bitch, salute, yo, they gonna hear that shit. And let me tell you something. Eventually, they gonna toe the fucking line. Because that's the problem when information is new for people. People start getting offended and they start getting finicky and funny. But after a while, your new information becomes common law information.
Yeah.
To the point to where they have no choice but to accept it.
Cognitive dissonance is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Cognitive dissonance, man.
Yep.
I did a little studying on psychology and sociology.
You hit it on the thumb. You said it absolutely correctly.
Yeah. I did a little studying, man. When they hear something new, whether it be true or not, when they hear something new against their principles of what they think, they automatically be offended by that shit.
Yeah.
And they could be wrong. They'd be offended. Yep. Think about it. There's still white people who think Jesus is white. If you tell them Jesus, if you have a black Jesus in the movie, they'll walk out the fucking movie.
No, Jesus looked like you or me.
Right. But they will walk out the movie and say, "Fucking movie, I can't watch this shit." Yeah. And you show them in the Bible where it says Jesus is black, they'll be like, man, let me check the specifications of this Bible. This ain't no real Bible.
Well, if it says your skin is bronze, if you take bronze and you put bronze in the air, bronze is brown as fuck, man.
Right. And it's like burnt bronze. So burnt bronze is way darker than this.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what bronze looks like after it's settled down and cool.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's no lighter than this.
So how can that be white?
How can it be white? But that's why
hair like wool.
That's why they made the iconism.
When you think of our hair is wool, man.
That's the reason why they made
and this is the right way to identify our hair as black people. Wool, not naps. Wool.
That's the reason why they took it out the Bible. Not the Bible. That's the reason why they took it out of the dictionary. In the dictionary, black people hair was described as woolly.
Yep.
Hebrews was described as black people with bronze skin, copper skin, and woolly hair. Native Americans were described as black people with Negroes with copper skin and woolly hair.
Yep.
It was all the same characteristics. Once they realized, like, damn, we basically telling them they're the same, they took all that shit out.
Yep.
The dictionary
because they were smart enough to realize, well, shit, if we put 2 and 2 together, then we can't accept it. And that explains why when the Messiah came, he was automatically rejected. Yep. Because when he showed up looking like Ross. He showed up looking like me.
Right.
And he got to deal with Roman Empire. He got to deal with all this Pontius Pilate, all of these red hair, white hair, blue-eyed motherfuckers. What the fuck? So, of course, they're going to reject automatically because the look is diametrically opposed.
Yep.
Forget the conversation. Let's just go off the look. And the look in of itself is telling you that it's more powerful than anything that's standing in front.
Exactly.
I mean, this man had the power to forgive sins. I mean, this is some powerful stuff, dog. This man had the authority to heal. That's crazy. To these people, that's crazy, man. Like, no, he that looks like that cannot. No, 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 no. We're not accepting that. No, no.
Right.
We're gonna have to do a coup d'état to
Because people don't
get this guy up out of
what
here.
people don't realize is when Jesus showed up, they have already, because at first the pagan guys, even though they were pagan,
Mm-hmm.
in Egypt they were black,
Yep.
and the Hebrews had to deal with that.
Yep.
And God punished them for worshiping those guys. But even though they were black, because you're not supposed to make an image of what you think God looks like. The Bible forbids that. You're not
Yep.
supposed to make a graven image. By the time Jesus shows up, these Hebrews are now worshiping Zeus.
Yep.
They're worshiping Jupiter.
Yep.
They're worshiping Apollos. They're
Hercules.
worshiping
All
white
these people.
men.
Yep.
So when Jesus showed up all powerful and doing shit, they're like, no, man, this is getting away from what we're trying to do. We're trying to make people worship us as God.
Yeah.
And this nigga coming with all these powers, we gotta get rid of him.
I mean, he went into the temple and turned it upside down.
Yeah, because they was in there worshiping idols.
Yeah.
And making merchandise.
Yeah.
So he went up in there and took.
He went up in there. What does that sound like to you? That sounds like a black person acting up. Because that's how, when it's time for us to act up, we're gonna go up in there and turn some things up.
And if there was a TMZ in that day, they wouldn't say Jesus sets the temple correct. He stopped them from worshiping idols. They would say Jesus had a breakdown. He's going crazy.
Yeah, he had PTSD.
That's what they would say. He had a breakdown.
He had a mental disorder.
He's out of control.
Yep. And you would have had the Pharisees and the Sadducees right there eating it up with a mic in there. Yeah, you see, he can't be the Messiah.
Don't that sound familiar?
Yep.
That's what would be happening right now. There was a TMZ back then. There was Eyewitness News. There was a CBS. Mm-hmm. They would cover that, and they would be like, "Black man goes crazy, assaults people in the church for no apparent reason."
Yep.
And they would have missed all the idols that was set up and all the altars in the church.
Yep. They just didn't like the fact that he was so much more younger than them, but he just knew way more than them. They didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, God allowed all that to happen then because it wasn't our time. It wasn't our time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't our time. We still had some more suffering we had to do. It wasn't our time to come to the truth. That's why he was rejected. It wasn't our time. Now is the time. People are starting to accept the fact that they're Hebrews now because it's the time now. It wasn't.
Well, that's why Yeshua said, "In greater works you shall do." Yeah. This is the time. This is the time where the greater works are being done, because now this is where the evolution of coming back to the original state of what you are. If you look at our oppression and the way that we're oppressed and the way that we're constantly marginalized and the way that we're constantly basically foot under the damn thumb, what does that sound like to you? Persecution? I mean, put it together. Just look at the scriptural references and put it together. Oppression, persecution, carrying your cross, trials and tribulation. I mean, they all are linear with the same terminology. They are linear with you suffering. It all lines up with suffrage. Suffering. It's all in the same bracket, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that looks like us and everyone that manifests like us have to deal with that. You know, even if it's something stupid, you just got to deal with the fact that because you look different from other people, they have to spit on you.
Exactly.
They have to shit on you because of the difference.
Exactly, man.
So yeah, man. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, it's been another wonderful conversation, another wonderful live. I hope people take from this. I hope people, if you're gonna chop and you're gonna replay on your own YouTubes, I hope you at least add some clarity to what's being said.
Yep.
I also hope that you understand that these type of conversations, they take a good chunk, a good portion of our time.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, especially if you're one of the demanding type of commenters, demanding type of subscriber, you might want to add some donations with those demands, man. If you want them to be
Exactly.
heard, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yep.
all I got.
And make sure when you donate to motivate, you're adding in comments that's applicable to what we talked about. Like Ross said earlier, the context. Don't come up in here, Maz, Devo, or Kobe. We don't give two flying fucks about Maz, Devo, or Kobe. If we did, we would talk about Maz, Devo, or Kobe. We're talking
Right.
about shit that's going to help you become better men, help you to become better individuals, things that deal with real life topics. So focus to the context at hand and donate based on the context at hand. Don't come in here and just give the fake support just so you can say salute. Listen, man, you can say salute all you want. I'm at that place now. Ross will tell you. I see a motherfucker say salute. I'm not gonna say salute back. I'll do this.
Yeah.
Donate, fucking motivate.
Low key, after today, if you come here and you say salute, but there's no donation with that, like on all these other channels, it
Mm-hmm.
don't gotta be nothing crazy, but it's something. Then I'm not acknowledging it because the majority of the time when they acknowledge those
Mm-hmm.
salutes are highlighted, and they're highlighted because
Yeah.
there was a donation.
Yeah, there was a $50 donation with that salute. So now we know salute has we know salute has a value. So you come up in this bitch and you say salute, you may not. I don't care if you don't want to donate 50. That shit better be minimum $25 for your salute to be acknowledged. Because now we know salute has a high value and a high price. I've seen $100 be donated for just saying salute. So we know salute has a high value and a high market behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want us to acknowledge your salute? $25. And if you do, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a 50-50 thing. So if Ross decides to read, I can't tell. This is the thing. We both are equal partners. So if he wants to read it, hey, he can read it. Me, I ain't reading shit. If it's a dollar donation, I ain't reading it. If $2, I ain't reading it. I better see 5 or more for me to
Right.
read that shit. Cause y'all
Right.
motherfuckers need to start contributing to us heavily and seriously. I ain't with the bullshit no more, man.
Because okay, the shit we talking about, we're risking our channels. You know, I had 2 channels taken from me. People
Yep,
like people like, man, you finally got over 1,000 subscribers. I did that shit twice already.
twice
They had them shits taken. I
and
finally
taken.
survived. That's what
Yeah,
you seeing. I
yeah,
finally survived, nigga.
yeah,
And I got one more channel coming on the way. But
yes,
I finally survived. And with the content I make, they won't even monetize me. I'm fighting
yeah,
to get monetized right now. So the
yep,
fact that we give you shit that we can't even get monetized off of, or we got
that's
to
a
fight to
problem.
get monetized because he knows it's monetized, but
Yep,
sometimes he got to fight to get certain videos
yep,
monetized.
yep,
And the fact that we have to do that means y'all should be showing love because, man, the way they do it is I could lose my channel because I'm covering real shit.
yep,
And I'm supposed to do that for free? Come on,
yep.
man.
And y'all motherfuckers thinking y'all oh they monetize. So no, you want your topic? Pay. Matter of fact, here's the minimum donation you can give, and it's a perfect donation because let's be honest, fast food costs more money than that. Minimum donation for a video request, just send $5. I think that's very fair. And motherfuckers got $5 they can spare. Shit, you go to a fast food restaurant, unless you ordering some shit where it's not gonna fill your belly. If you want to fill your belly, you got to go at least $10. So we asking
Mhm.
$5. So you
Right.
want video request $5. That's what I need to be looking at. There's a dude named Deion Sanders. I love that brother. Anytime he want me to say something, yo, he knows Cash App, man. His $7.50, his $10. Can you talk about this? Y'all motherfuckers need to be like that. And then I'll stop what I'm doing. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Salute to Deion Sanders. Video dedicated to you. But my voice, and I'm making this very clear, I'm making it on wax. My voice is officially silent until the donations start flooding in. When them donations start flooding in, then outside of the live, you will start seeing more of my voice come out. Other than that,
Mhm.
eat fucking shorts, sleep fucking shorts, live fucking shorts, shit fucking shorts, and obstacle course the fucking shorts, because that's what the fuck you getting, man.
Mhm.
Them shits getting me subs. They getting me new people that's looking at the channel, and I'm gonna keep running them bitches until the wheels fucking fall off. But guess what? The wheels with that shit ain't falling off no time fucking soon.
No time soon. As long as they're a TikTok, Source gonna be in popping.
Exactly.
Source
Ross,
gonna be
man, this was a great fucking live, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out TomRossTVRaw, Tom Ross TV. Subscribe to the man's channel. This man right now is blazing the fucking streets. He's driving like nobody's business, boy.
I'm trying, man.
I know Ross can get a little finicky with comparisons, but this motherfucker to me is the Kanye West of YouTube, dog. Multifaceted like a motherfucker, dog. This man's doing every fucking thing. He got his hand in every fucking cookie jar, and he's doing it at an exponentially high and great level, man. I got to give him all the credit in the world for that shit.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
I have no choice but to do that because I know what you did. I know how many channels you turned around, and oh, I wanted to say one thing. Reject Robin, how does my ass taste? I remember one time you said Tom Ross TV would never surpass me. I checked your sub numbers the other day. Your ass got severely surpassed. I want to know how you feeling about that shit right about now. And if you fuck around, that second channel about to surpass your ass too. I had to throw that shit in there, dog. I want to know how your ass feel. How does my ass taste, motherfucker?
You just gave me an idea, man.
Woo! Because guess what? You told me that was the worst decision I made. Well, guess what? It's probably out of the three decisions I made in my life, that's probably the top 3 greatest decisions I've ever fucking made.
Yeah.
To relinquish myself from your ass, boy. Because when I saw the pass up yesterday, I was about to break my fucking fast. I was gonna get me a drink. I almost shit. And I said, whoosh. He's been with that shit, dog.
He's been at the subscriber level for a year.
You deserve that shit, man. Your ass, boy. Your ass. Now you know. Change your wardrobe. Stop having crunky ass white beaters. Listen to everything I had told you. Clean your act up and start looking like maybe a Stephen A. Smith. If you start looking that way, maybe you'll be able to. I don't know what. You know what? That shit still won't work. You born as fuck. This shit still won't work.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed to say that shit real quick, man. Your ass got passed the fuck up, and that right there, like Tupac said, joy is the sweetest joy next to getting pussy, though. That shit was sweet. Watching that shit, man. I'm sorry to say that shit was sweet, because when I saw that yesterday, I almost snapshot that shit and sent that shit to you, though. That's how much of an asshole I wanted to be to your ass real quick. But I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But I just wanted to put that out there. You got passed the fuck up, and you got lapped the fuck up. You didn't just get passed the fuck up. You got lapped the fuck up. You about 500 plus in the hole. I'm just putting it out there. Woo, that's it, man. That's all I gotta say, though. Anything else you want to say, brother? All right, y'all be easy. Y'all have a great Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow on Sunday, man. Peace.